Why are you scared?
I'm excited that you're scared.
Yeah, because it's like, you know, when you take a long break and then you're very sensitive.
Are you?
More likely
You've
to
always
get-
been a little sensitive.
In the last hour, I've gotten another 4 calls.
4 spams.
4 calls.
Are you stressed
4
out?
spams.
Dude, I could not live like that. I would
It's-
throw my
it's-
phone into the
it's-
ocean.
I've had this phone number since I was 16 years old.
Lose
I
it.
don't know if getting a new number would solve it, though. Because there's no new numbers, you know?
I think you've started too many businesses.
Yeah.
That's what it
no,
is.
that's what this is.
Do you ever put your number?
I've taken out loans.
You
We
ever
had
put your number in
loans.
your signature, email signature?
I had before.
I did that, and that's what effed me. I get.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Yeah.
No, what effed me is loans,
Oh.
business loans.
Yeah. Those
Dang.
leads get sold.
And then SBA,
oh, they
I
sell
put my
those
real
leads.
number
Oof.
to, we did a line of credit, you know, all this stuff,
Yeah.
and I'm fucked. I still get like, would you like $1 million
Do you have
wired
it-
to you in the next 24 hours?
Do you have this setting where like any unknown number goes straight to voicemail?
Well, I had that,
So I have that.
but that doesn't work because so many business calls
I
that
know,
I
I
want
get-
to receive
I know it does fuck me a little
are
bit.
from numbers that I
yeah.
have not saved.
Of
So I had
course.
to switch that off.
Yeah.
That's
I have
the
it,
only thing you can do to prevent.
but you still get
Because
like
I
this-
already have on like Verizon has a blocker at the account level, and then the phone has a blocker. Like you can go in and
They're
be
still
like,
not good enough though.
Yeah,
Like I was
it's not.
been shopping for a new car. You put your name, email, phone number in one thing, and just it's nonstop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I use a Google Voice number for
Okay, so
most
that's the key.
everything.
That's the key.
yeah.
Get
You have to have a
second phone
secondary number.
Mm.
And then those just show up as text. And if you need to receive a call, you can. But like any signups, any websites, you should use like a Google Voice number.
But if you have to access that Google Voice number for whatever reason, you can. Is
Yeah.
that- okay.
Yeah, it's a proper number. A lot of like Android Google people, weirdos, operate with like
Losers.
I only do that because they expect me to, you know.
Right. It's that's the meme.
It's
like,
actually
I
like
don't actually
a
care.
better way to live, you know.
I don't actually care.
It's actually better technology, but yeah. So yeah, a lot of them operate off of the Google Voice number as their main number.
But then how do you use it? It's like
You can use it like a regular phone number. You can make calls, you can get texts, but then you're living in SMS land too. No iMessage.
green text.
I mean, they're used to that though.
Yeah, I mean they would be doing it anyways, right?
Yeah,
Like on
exactly.
Samsungs and whatnot.
Exactly. Just don't text a girl for the first time from a green with a green text.
Could you imagine living
She'd
that life?
instantly just
No, I
be
can't
like,
imagine. We haven't done it in
Can
years.
you imagine? She would
Like,
just
what
be
is,
like-
what is that even like these days?
I
Are
swear
you
to
sure
God,
they
these-
send texts? I don't think they send texts.
I feel like if a 25-year-old girl got a text today and it was green, she would immediately block the number.
I don't think they ask for the phone number. I think they're like, "What's your
DM me.
TikTok or Instagram?"
Are you going to
Yeah.
instill that in a roomie at like a very young age? You see green.
We're just
you
going to be living
move
on
on.
we're going to be living on a farm by that point. I told my wife the other day, I was like, 'cause she's so connected to technology and I have the opposite. Like I am doing everything in my power to slowly, continually like remove myself from these things. Like I don't want
I think
WhatsApp.
it's
I
like an
don't want-
ambition, but you are the techno king.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen
know.
you whip around your laptop. Like, you have like 10 mice, your little fingers. You don't touch your mouse. It's just all hotkeys and
Dude,
shortcuts.
It's so fast. It's blindingly fast.
Well, I told her that I want a landline, and that's all I want.
You want a landline?
I want a landline.
Gross.
I was like, remember
dude.
that gross, dude.
Yeah.
Remember the day when you used to leave home, untethered, completely free,
How'd you get anywhere?
out and about, and then you come home and you checked your voicemail, and people were
No, it was
like,
an answering machine.
yeah, your answering machine. Like that's what I want.
Voicemail. Yeah. No, that's
what I
actually a cool dream.
Yeah,
Dream.
I've
like a place in New Zealand with an answering machine.
yeah, I like that. You got to be present in this modern
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
Get rid of that shit.
Yeah, man.
Dan
when are we
Simmons
going
is calling
live?
us Apple
Wait,
elitists.
wait, wait.
We're
We've
already
been
live. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, I
Oh
forgot
my
to tell you.
God.
You're just,
I literally was like, we're really late. Well played, sir.
I like
Okay,
the
I
hidden
see what you did
hidden
there.
go live.
Well played.
I do have a request today.
Okay.
Because it's about my last few days. I have a impersonation request.
Oh my God.
Okay. Can you impersonate a Persian car salesman at a Mercedes dealership.
Are you familiar with GLE? This is best in class. V8, 375 horsepower. You put your foot on the pedal, you go to the moon. You will go 0 to 0. This Elon Musk doesn't have shit on Mercedes. Mercedes is German. Tesla is fucking China. What the fuck? They make their car in China. We are German automobile. Okay? You don't, it's like comparing apple and orange.
Oh,
You have money? You want good car? You come with me.
Okay, because
pretty sure you knocked that out of the park.
wow, on command, you didn't even take a beat to prepare.
Oh, Jesus.
All right,
Nicely done.
so I'm looking for a new
I gotta
car.
listen to that back. I'm gonna play that
Yeah.
for a couple people.
Went to the dealership yesterday, Mercedes dealership. I need to buy a new car. Mine died, and I had that exact same person.
You had that
that
guy?
that guy.
That was raunchy guy.
Yeah,
you
but he
probably
was-
had classy guy.
he was a
He
little
was working
classy.
at Mercedes, so he was probably a
Oh,
little
he was
classier.
so funny though. He was
Yeah.
so funny the whole time.
Pushing.
Oh, pushing, but also like, I was like, yeah, can you just, I don't know, let me know what the out the door price is. It's like, out the door price? I'm trying to sell you the car now. Like, I want you to buy the car now. I want you to be my customer. And he's like,
What does that mean? Like,
I don't know. He's just like,
You are my customer. I die for you.
that's what it felt like.
I right now, anything happened to you, I kill myself. I am there before your mother is there. Whatever happens, I am yours for life. Sign.
He's like,
The bottle opener. Damn, you got me going.
do that in a Persian accent. Get the bottle opener in a Persian accent.
oh my God. He's
Wow.
like, you see that car right there? You like that car? I was like, yeah. He's like, think it's a nice car? I'm like, yeah. He's like, I never sell that to you. I'm like, why? He's like, bad deal. It's a bad deal. You can trust me.
Yeah.
And
Oh my god.
he was so good. So good.
Master class.
So did you trust him?
I mean, like, I purposely went there. Like, I'm not gonna buy a car. I just want to like test drive a few and get a feel.
You
But
haven't gone like house shopping yet. The best agents are the,
I don't know
the
if I can do
Persian
that.
ones too. In
The
Beverly
house is
Hills.
too intense. They're too
Beverly
good.
Hills, Shaws of Sunset, Persian agents, man. Oh my god. They clean up.
Oh god.
They
Yeah.
clean up.
If you have a sales staff, like, is it pretty mandatory? Just all Persians?
He was like, your license to do the test drive past the terrorist, screen, whatever. He was like, mine did too. Just so you know. Like,
Pretty good one. Pretty good one.
Yeah. He'd probably use that one every
Oh
time.
my
Yeah,
God.
pretty good.
Mm.
Wow. So you're in the market.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
I don't like buying things.
I
like
know you
things. Like
Yeah.
Does it give you any joy, or is it all just sort of like putrid?
well, he said when I sat in the car, he like went to go get the key real quick, and he's like, "You're smiling. I haven't even sold you the car yet." Apparently, I was pretty happy in the car. So,
What color?
black,
Nice.
all black.
GLE.
Oh yeah, he was explaining.
favorite.
He was explaining to my fiance like how he would murder it out, like all
Really?
the little black lines, and I'm like, okay, I don't.
mean, that is
I don't need
pretty
you to
dope.
murder it out for me. I just want
I
like
do
the normal
love
black.
when it's blacked out.
Yeah, it does change the game.
It does.
But-
or the matte wrap.
Oh, Matt is
That's
killer.
my favorite.
Oh, he
I don't even like
he pitched us
cars.
on that because
Yeah.
he
And
only
I
had a
see
white
that,
car.
and I'm like, wow.
He only had a white car, and he was going on that same tone
Yeah.
on how he would
You
wrap
gotta.
it in matte black.
with blacked out.
Oh, he walked me around the whole
Bro,
car,
that'd be so badass.
pitching it. That's when I thought of you. I was like,
Yeah.
this guy is
Have
Armand's
you looked into
impersonation.
that? Like, how much does it cost to
I
like,
have
get the
not looked
wrap?
into
I think
that.
it's
Couple
for
grand.
A couple grand.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't think
that's
wrapping
totally
is that
worth it.
expensive.
But
it looks so good.
No, but like when you open the car, you still see whatever the underlying, like
'Cause
in the door seal. It just
Because it's like a vinyl
Yeah.
thing on top.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
it looks so good though.
Yeah.
Still worth it, I think.
yeah,
And it's like the same color, it's just different texture.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Like I didn't. He was too good. It almost made me want to buy the car.
Like, I have to do business
Like
with you.
yeah, he was so good. I was like, he was talking about his dog. He saw he had a dog, and I was like, oh god, he's connecting with her on the dog. I was
Here
like,
we go.
we're done
Here
for.
we go.
Yeah.
Masterclass, man.
Mm-hmm. How's your guys' weekend?
What did I do? What did I do? I relaxed.
Good.
Yeah,
You got to relax.
I relaxed.
I have
No, I had actually know what I did. My wife was like away for a couple things and had things to do, so I was like very much on baby duty, just hanging out with Rumi, taking her around,
Nice.
hanging out. It was good.
good.
You guys
Yeah.
influenced me from our last episode. It was like the topic was, what would you do if like you had $100 million or money was no object? and I have taken this to heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
You've
like
been thinking about it, huh?
like leaning into summertime. I'm like imagining what life should look like for me if I'm going to live this way. And it just, it's going to look like a lot of activities, boys. Nothing but activities.
So you're actually taking the question and doing something about it and trying to bring it into the present, which is what we're supposed to do.
You guys just like talk on the
yeah,
podcast?
pretty much. So you're like pulling the goals forward. That's the purpose, right?
Well, yeah, there's a trade. I mean, there's a clear trade-off.
There's a trade-off.
The trade, it's like the Mexican fisherman parable. The trade is you like enjoy now at the expense of like the future success.
So the argument for working harder when you're young is that you can enjoy yourself more in your later years because you'll have more disposable income, more resources. But is that genuinely true after the thought exercise that you've done? Does it actually make a difference? Would you be able to do more and enjoy more? Or is it actually that most of the things you want are generally free or cheap?
You know what? I think a lot of the things are free or cheap. Like all the things that I really like doing are kind of free or cheap. But, you know, even to edify what you're saying a little more, like my parents did sort of like forego their younger years to save and invest and like build this like legacy. And I see them now and they're like ready to go travel the world and everything.
We visited him in Jackson Hole, and they just got like a whole group of friends. They got little groups, and
they're great. But like when they go and try to do activities, like their bodies are not capable of doing all the things that like a 30s body can do. And you know, I think you gotta live.
Yeah, if you want to go
Die with Zero wins again.
Sure enough.
Wins again.
Kayaking, adventure, sports, things like that.
So I bought a little inflatable raft. It was $100. We went out on the bay.
Whoa, inflation.
Mina and I, and it's got 2 oars. So we're just like paddling out in the bay. Brought a little picnic, some Sancerre wine. Some
Ooh, Sancerre, good choice for the sun.
Well, it's Mina's favorite.
Okay.
So
I saw you jump in the water.
oh yeah, dude. First of all,
I'm so thankful that your wife documents your life so well.
Oh, yeah.
So, I just always know.
well, you guys again influenced from the podcast. I don't use Instagram anymore.
Yeah. Same.
But
I think I haven't used it in 2
I
years.
still log in to see what you guys are up to.
sometimes I
That's
try
about
to use it, and like my laptop or phone won't load any Meta program. Like it won't load a website for Facebook or Instagram. It's like the universe knows I shouldn't be doing this.
You buying
It's a
shady
terrible
ads
app.
or what?
I don't know, but either way, I jumped in the ocean. I feel like salt water is like a life hack. Like just like
It's like touching grass.
it's like touching grass. I feel like sunshine is a life hack. People tell me that I'm a moron because I don't wear sunscreen, but I think it's healthy.
I like it.
Brian Johnson just posted about that.
What's his TLDR?
Yeah, it was like use sunscreen.
He's a white
Don't
boy,
get
though.
burned. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, don't get burned.
sun is good, but in moderation. Try to get into the sun in the early hours and the late hours. Avoid it. And then he had some like technical thing about UV that I hadn't heard of. UVA.
UVA, UVB.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
did a
then-
little research in that.
And then I was like, I got to get back to work. So I didn't
Gotta
dive
get
into
back to
it.
real
that
life.
motherfucker
Yeah.
is white though.
Yeah. He's Casper. For sure.
All right, let's formally get started here. Welcome to the Alfalfa Podcast, everybody. We are live like we are every week on YouTube, Wednesdays at 5 p.m. PST. Today, Eric, Armand, and Nick. Steven is on Air Steven right now. The PJ is probably landing in a few hours here, so he couldn't make
Prices
the pod.
are mooning though. What's happening?
I don't know.
Weird.
Yeah, usually when he's in
It's
the
a
air,
wrinkle
we
in the
dump.
matrix.
Yeah, I like it.
All right. Yeah, what's up to everyone in the chat? We got a rowdy chat today already.
Yeah, let me
I don't know
jump
if it
in
was the Apple elitism or the impersonation, but
Yeah,
we
I
got
bet I triggered some people.
Hookham, Ricky, Dan Simmons, Tyler, Matt, Adam's in there. Nefarious Sausage, love that. Mike, what's up? Tyler, Max. Cool. Thanks for everyone for joining us live. Yeah, join us live. Hop in the chat. It's a fun time. If you're not joining us live, join us in the Discord. All links are at alfalfapod.com. You can also, if you're a lurker, hop in the introductions channel. We've had some epic introductions in the introductions channel lately. People saying hi that had just been watching and enjoying this whole time. Yeah, like and subscribe to the video if you haven't already. And then you can support the pod in a few ways. One way, you can comment in the live stream through the new YouTube Super Chat. The comments get posted up on the screen for you. And then you could tweet this episode, share it. We've had some people do that last few weeks. It helps a lot. We see it in the data, so appreciate that, boys. And then you can check out the podcast on-chain collectibles. So pods.media/alfalfa is where you can check those out. Okay.
Damn, you're getting good at that.
Oh, yeah?
That just streamed out like poetry.
Repetitions.
Yeah.
We need more reps.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. There's 19 people in the chat and only 6 likes. Let's fix that. Come on, boys.
Maybe you have to refresh. Maybe they already did it. But no, still like it.
Yeah,
it helps.
like the video.
Okay, so we got a little potpourri of alcohol here today. I'm drinking some a Negra Modelo. And
I love Negra Modelo. Such an underrated beer.
I always go with the Especial,
No,
the lighter version.
Got to go Negro.
Once you go Negro.
That's it. That's it. It's actually amazing.
doesn't flow, but I like it.
With a lime.
With
You
a
ever had-
lime on that too?
Oh, you haven't had that with a lime?
No.
That is the perfect combination. Negra Modelo with a lime.
Do you like smash the lime in there, or do you do a spritz of lime?
Yeah,
You
I
smash it in
squeeze
there.
it and smash it.
Do you put thumb over and like let it?
I don't do that thing.
Yeah, I've
but
seen that
just
thing.
kind of
I don't like that thing.
shove it down in there.
What are you
Yeah.
drinking, sir?
I
Zima?
got this Topo Chico hard seltzer in a glass bottle. Feels very fancy in a glass bottle instead of the cans. And I'm not a big seltzer guy, but this is pretty good.
The fact that it's out
This
of
is
a
also
glass
my
bottle.
first alcoholic drink in 2 weeks, so I'm pretty excited.
Welcome back,
I'm excited
senor.
for
I'm also a little nervous. So, yeah.
Dude, you're going to be on the floor.
Yeah.
You only got 2 there. You set
yeah.
yourself up for success here. It's a 2-drink minimum, by the way, to record on this podcast. Just reminder.
And I'm drinking Storage Room Casadores.
It's still good. It's still good.
Yeah.
We have a lot of it, so it might be a recurring theme. We might be able to get a sponsor on here. Speaking of sponsors, let's give a shout out to ZBiotics. Thanks for supporting the podcast. Go to zbiotics.com/alfalfa. I think the best testimonial for ZBiotics is that I ran out and I am nervous about having a few beers without it. It's the probiotic you take before you drink to get rid of those shitty mornings after drinking. It's the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. We're all fans of it. It's been our life alfalfa of the year, of the last few years. We're big fans of it. Go to zbiotics.com/alfalfa. Use code alfalfa at checkout. You get 15% off. And it helps support the pod as well. So thank you, ZBiotics, for supporting the podcast. We love you lots.
Love you, ZBiotics.
Yeah, love you guys. Alfalfa Round. I mean, you already shared a little Alfalfa Round. I just want to share experience from the weekend. I went to Joshua Tree, and
Oh my
I
gosh.
went to this little venue called Pappy and Harriet's. It's in
Did you do mushrooms?
no,
I know.
there people were doing mushrooms.
Yeah.
Everyone around me was.
Oh,
doing
people were doing
mushrooms.
mushrooms?
Yeah, weird.
Joshua Tree.
In Josh.
Okay, you know what's weird about
Classic.
mushrooms now? They come in branded
Oh, yeah.
packaging.
Wonka bars.
Oh, dude, everything. I mean, they had
Everything.
boxes, like full-blown CPG level packaging, and I'm like,
Damn.
It's a little too recreational.
is that a terrible drug dealer? Like, you're just leaving this trail of like a supply chain, like leading back to you?
I don't think they go after these people. It doesn't seem like
It
it.
doesn't seem like it either. I mean,
Yeah.
and the venue didn't care. They were like, oh, cool, mushrooms, but as long as you don't have knives.
Wait, really?
guns.
You could bring your like branded chocolates.
You know that
into the-
meme with the guy wanding people at the front of the concert, and he's just doing like a half-ass. It was like that. It was like that.
Okay.
They're just like, want to make sure you didn't have any like
Damn.
weapon paraphernalia.
When I was in Tulum, they were like turning out your pockets, like taking
Oh.
off your shoes and shit.
I feel like that would be a
Whoa.
more inviting place.
It's because, like, every couple months people get
I think it's
shot up.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I
That's
had
a
nothing
scary
nothing
place.
else to say about it. Just that they were.
Okay.
Well, they want you to buy drugs inside.
Yeah, exactly.
I think
The
that's
cartels
why.
are in
Yeah.
there.
No, you know that random guy by the bathroom? Yeah, they want you to buy drugs from him. Anyway, went to a live show, concert, outdoors. It was like about 500, 800 people in the desert at sunset. And, you know, my fiance loves live shows.
Who'd you see?
She'll go. We went to see Polo and Pan. Kind of like a funky, electronic, but like dancey.
Golden hour music.
Golden hour music. It's not too
Nice.
intense. It's like chill. You know, you're not like jumping up
I have,
and
a,
down.
I have a golden hour playlist on Spotify.
Yeah. It was good, but she loves going to live concert, and she's the one who keeps pushing me to like go. And
Yeah.
every time I go, I go maybe like once every 4 or 5 months. But man, It's a good time.
Yeah.
Good time moving around, you know, like just being out, listening to music and dancing around.
Dancing.
Yeah.
Dancing. That's what's probably doing it. You know, the movement.
You don't have any video
the
for us
flow.
of you guys in the?
I don't have any.
in the
Well, I do
show?
have video. I was like creeping out on my fiance a little bit, but while she was dancing. But I have audio. I don't know if it's appropriate.
We'll get demonetized.
Oh yeah, we'll probably get copyrighted on
Keeps
the
happening.
song. But yeah, it was good music. Yeah, I guess you're right. It's probably the dancing. Tony says motion creates emotion.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
believe that?
Oh yeah. Yeah. You change your emotion with motion for sure. You
So-
can't like think your way out of a bad state. You have to move the body. But also just, I think music and dance, it's so primal and
Yeah.
ancient, and it's like, well, I mean, it's just so damn primal. That's all there is to say. It's an incredible feeling. If you allow yourself to let go and find flow,
Right, because you
just do it.
You don't just like move and you feel better. You got to like kind of move with intention, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you're outdoors too. Anyway, so
Yeah.
just a reminder because it reminded myself.
Go to a live show.
It was
like
amazing.
that.
It's a perfect opportunity to live in the present, right? Like you're just like there amongst all these people.
Everyone was happy too. It was a good crowd. The music's kind of like upbeat. It's yeah, it was great. Everyone was in a good mood.
But was everybody like on their phone, like on the like, looking at the
At times,
stage?
but not as intense as you'd imagine. Where
Yeah.
like, you know, that's
Yeah.
all you see.
Got to try to avoid those.
Yeah, no.
The bigger the artist, the more that's correlated.
Yeah,
The more like indie the artist, the more people are actually enjoying the
just
music.
actually.
these were two indie guys, the two French boys,
Mm-hmm.
producers, DJs, I guess, more producers.
the fucking French, man.
Ah,
Always
they
just
killed it.
just crushing.
Yeah, they did good.
Yeah, they do.
All right, you guys have any alfalfa for this week? That's mine.
I think I kind of went a little too early. I was
Yeah,
like, I'm just kind of like focused on this like activities mindset.
We
Summertime.
were trying to come up with like a spontaneous activity, like in the morning when you're like, I got nothing to do today. We got Padres game so far. By the way, baseball games so much more enjoyable. I grew up a baseball fan. I knew every box score of every team. I
Same.
knew the rankings. Like I played baseball competitively, and but man, you know, as an adult, like it used to be a 4.5 hour shindig, and now with the pitch clock, it's actually like 2.5 hours. It's quick, and it makes it a lot more enjoyable. And in San Diego, I mean, sun's out every day, so like it's a good time to get outside. We got
so,
that.
So that just happened to me recently. It was like a Sunday morning, and we saw it was gonna be like a beautiful day in San Diego, and we had nothing planned. And it was like a spontaneous thing to me. And I was like, "You want to go see the Padres?" Just like, because we got nothing else going on, and ended up being a great day.
Yeah, add that to the activities list. Get out in the bay.
Get out on the bay.
Get on the boat.
We always have like beach, water type stuff in San Diego that I'm like very eager to do. Sports.
We
like-
don't do it as much for how close we live to the water.
No, that's like a real intention for me this
Right.
summer. But also like, you know, pickleball and tennis and soccer, things that we all enjoy. But that's my verb, I think, for the summer is we play.
I love that. I saw your post, and wasn't there an article you posted as well?
It was a TED Talk.
A TED Talk?
A TED
Yeah.
Talk that I watched that was like talking about fun. Actually, it's in our Discord. I don't have the link, but she put 3 concentric circles of a Venn diagram, and one was like it was like literally playfulness, which she meant to be like not taking yourself too seriously. How we like even on this podcast sometimes we get into a zone where we're like trying to be super correct.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the playfulness part of the Venn diagram is like forget about that. Just like let loose.
Yeah.
But then there's also like a be present, and then there's I think that's like a flow state, and then there's another
Mhm.
one I don't know, but
There's many people that have talked about this. I won't go too deep into this, but one person to shout out is Charlie Hone. So you guys might remember I had him on the Flow podcast.
Tim
He was-
Ferriss's old
Yeah,
guy.
Tim Ferriss is director of
he was like
special
his
operations.
like go-to guy, right?
Yeah, ran the company basically.
Yeah.
And Charlie ended up writing a book called Play It Away. And much of his work, a whole theme, a couple chapters of his work is based around play, psychology of play, the benefits of it on mental health. So he's written a lot about it. He's got a lot of awesome things to say about it. And yeah, I mean, ultimately, like, I think it's a huge hack.
No, is it like something that stuck with me about this TED Talk? It's weird that like we'll be like talking about an experience we had and be like, oh yeah, it was fun, and like internally, it wasn't that fun. Like we just say it was because we did it.
Like
You
the
know?
memory dividends are
Yeah.
stronger than.
Like it wasn't actually that good. We just kind of say it to each other, but then we kind of like.
Is that cognitive dissonance where you're like don't want to say?
But then there are those moments that are so like vividly fun, and like the way that you would like analyze them, it's like hard to pinpoint like what made it so great. It's kind of like a esoteric, elusive
It
feeling.
makes me realize how much more as people age, they become more resistant to fun. It's
Yeah.
almost like an atrophy of fun. And it's unfortunate because if you can just like maintain that, and what happens is you start to build too many sort of like rules for the way you should be. And as you get older, you mature, which is in some ways really, really, really good. Like maturing as a human being is a very good process. It's a healthy process. But the cost of it as well is like you often lose your expressions, and like how enamored you were with like basic things. You also just have been exposed to the same thing so many times, so it's more difficult for you to find novelty and great fun. But man, if you can work that muscle, like that's endless joy.
I think we all would like aspire to be those like 75-year-olds that
For
are
sure.
still like smiling ear to ear and like living life to the fullest.
For sure.
We went to like in this Pioneer Town after the show. We went down the street in Pioneer Town, which is like Wyatt Earp movie set style, like old West, and we went into a saloon, and the saloon turned an after party, and there was like this 75-year-old guy, decked out, blue hair, and he was just dancing with little 30-year-old women and having fun and
Love that for him.
respectful. Like they weren't like creeped out by him, but he was just, you could clearly see he was
'cause
just there
he's
to
like-
have fun
he's
by
the
himself.
fun guy,
He was
yeah.
the fun guy.
Totally.
He was having a great time. All right, Armand.
I do have
anything?
something, yeah.
What you got?
So as I enjoy that tasty beverage, I have been experimenting with reduction of alcohol, and I have felt like an inner sort of like desire and call to do so. And I will say this, the benefits again, just like when we did the detox and any time where I've like given it up completely or reduced it, the results are always like astounding, like how huge the impact is.
But you're having less fun.
No,
Okay.
I don't think I'm having less fun. I really think that's the biggest challenge with the whole thing is that I honestly am terrified of the fact that I might have less fun. And that's like my internal resistance to like, no, don't reduce drinking. But like drinking a glass of wine or two at home is not like, doesn't add to your fun. It's just something you do.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's a
don't-
fact.
Yeah.
It's not like taking anything away.
I never drink at
And
home.
like we had a great time. I had a great time last week, like on the pod and
Same.
after the pod, and like I had a great time. So like I don't know. And then I went out, the weekend and all that stuff, and I had a great time. And like I've gone through extended periods of time where I just didn't drink at all. But I think that I'm not going to be a never drinker. I'm not an extremist in any way. I'm never going to be like an alcoholic. I'm never going to be a never drinker. So the purpose of this was I felt like I personally just needed a break. But then my, goal was once I get on the other side of this, which is today, to set parameters. Every time I take a break, I try to set new parameters, new rules of like, okay, what's it going to be going forward? And usually it's less and a little bit more toward the other side of the spectrum. And so, yeah, I mean, the benefits have been wild. I mean, I sleep so much better. I have so much more time. We had a huge conversation about this in the wellness channel of the Discord community. I mean, and apparently there's all these other people out there in the community that are doing this or only drink like once or twice a month. And they're just like, yeah, welcome aboard. I mean, it's a good life, no matter how you spin it, it's poison. So,
That's a fact.
but at the end of the day, then I kind of started doing some deep dives. I started looking at the studies again on alcohol. I started looking at health span, lifespan, longevity, all these things. And look, there's studies that show you drink moderate amounts of alcohol, you live longer than non-drinkers, right? So it's all how I think it comes down to what it is for you. But I guess my alfalfa is like, if you've been feeling a tingling kind of toward like, I need to decrease and see what that feels like, I say do it because the benefits have been huge for me.
And it sounds like
mental
you're doing
clarity.
like a pragmatic way too. It's not
Yeah.
like cold turkey forever, and you make this like outlandish goal that's
Nah.
like really tough to keep up.
I will never do a diet or anything for that matter that is not a forever thing. Like, I think doing diets are just stupid. Like anything where it's not sustainable 100%. If you're
What about
torturing
cleanse?
yourself,
Cleanse?
a cleanse is different than
The
a
face
diet.
you made is like
Can't do
you
it.
had vindication when
cleanse is
you said
different.
the, on
do
your
a cleanse?
face.
No, a cleanse is different than a diet. A diet is like a cleanse is totally different. But like a diet or like, oh, you're referring to the detox?
Yes, I think that's
Oh,
what he was
okay.
just smirking at so hard.
Yeah. So just quick like benefits that I noticed. Like my baseline mood was so much more elevated. Alcohol is incredible at decreasing anxiety and relaxing you, but it is so little the amount that you need in order to do that. And anything over that just begins to, I don't use the word exponentially in a technical way, but in my like subjective experience,
Yeah.
just like exponentially increases your anxiety. So when you get off of it, your anxiety decreases, your mood elevates, your baseline goes up, your mood also becomes much more stable. The highs are not as high, the lows are not as low. You're just much more stable. The sleep, the cognition, the clarity, the fog goes away, things that you didn't even know you were dealing with. So I've really enjoyed it.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get into some stuff that we saw over the past week. Can we pull up? Can we do a little Roaring Kitty?
Let's do it.
I want to. Yeah, pull up the CNBC. We could play this for like a minute or so just to like highlight how
Let's get excited.
how wide this guy's influence got. pretty
Deep
quick.
fucking value is back.
Yes.
Let's go.
hit it.
We don't hear it? What?
Yeah.
Doesn't work.
Chat. Can you hear the video?
No, I think it's working. Do we have audio?
Oh, can't hear it.
Dude, we tested this 2 times before.
No, there is audio.
Oh, it does work.
It's low. All right, well, fuck that. So audio's low. We'll figure that out.
I think if you turn the volume up on the computer, does that work?
There's nothing else.
Oh, that's what it is. Nick's got it.
Got it?
Yeah, I think that was it.
The output of this computer.
Yeah, that was it.
Let's see if that changes anything.
Mm-mm.
No? Okay, let's explain it. Kitty's back.
Yeah, this motherfucker, Keith Gill, Roaring Kitty, who was sort of like the icon of that movie. He's back.
You mean the documentary they made about him?
Well, what was that? Was that a documentary?
I haven't seen it.
It was like a, yeah, I guess.
They've
it was,
made multiple documentaries about him, right?
I
Yeah,
didn't
the
even-
documentary, but like the main thing is he kicked off, meme
Meme
stonk
mania.
mania.
Yeah.
Like in 2021, he would do analysis in Reddit, Wall Street Bets, and shares analysis, shares holdings, and he kicked off mania. He testified in front of Congress after the fact. Anyway, he's been dead in social media for like
3 years.
and he just reemerged. And what I find amazing is the guy hasn't said a fucking word.
I love what he posted. So
He just
I mean, you
posted
can see the
memes.
screen. I won't play the audio, but like, I love this meme of like the video game player who leans forward.
yeah,
It's like, all right, game on.
yeah, game on.
Game on.
motherfucker.
I love it.
But he didn't actually say anything. He's just like, and he's still going. I think he's going like
He
every
still hasn't
hour or two.
said any words, right?
No.
You guys see his posts, right? They're amazing. He just posts like movie clips.
I think it's perfect because he like literally can't be dragged for SEC violations or anything. He's literally just posting memes.
Yeah, I wonder. I'm sure most of the people who are listening to this podcast have seen this in the news, are aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
GameStop in like a matter of 3 days went from like, I don't know, the 20-ish range to like 60 and back down again. But massive short squeeze happening. But yeah, you're right. He seems to be And I'm trying to figure out what was the chicken or the egg. Did he really start this off, or did the price? Did he see like action in the price, in the volume? Saw, heavy call option volume, was like, it seems like a good time to dip back in.
Yeah, I think so.
You think the price determined?
Wait a second. Has he said anything about dipping back in?
No, he hasn't said.
Okay,
He hasn't actually said anything. He's just
Hasn't
posting
said anything.
memes. But this one guy just created like $6 million or $6 billion of market cap in one stock. I mean, he created more than that across the board with
Yeah.
just posting memes. I mean, he's got more
It's wild.
sway
I mean,
than.
he saved GME, AMC from bankruptcy. This is amazing.
I think AMC immediately started issuing shares. Like they were just on the ready, started issuing shares at the higher stock price. That's what they should do.
So,
yeah.
how do you guys feel about this? Like, do you guys want to play this game?
All in.
You want to go?
Oh
all
wait,
in?
are you playing?
No.
Oh,
I was thinking about buying this morning, and then they all dipped. So I was like, I'm just going to watch, see what happens tomorrow
but what
and Friday.
what is this? It's not like a re-kick off of what we went through in 2021.
It could be a catalyst, right?
Well, I think the big thing
It's
about
just where do you want your entry to be? And
21 was the percentage of shares that were short was
Yeah.
much higher.
much higher.
Okay,
Like-
so let's be specific about that.
Yeah.
Right now, like I looked at it today.
Okay.
Short interest. Short interest is hard to measure, right? Because you take two snapshots of it per month, but you can also measure like the dark pool short interest or whatever. Either way you look at it, we're looking at either like 20-something% of float being short currently. If you include the dark pools, it's like 40% or 40-something%. But in the peak of like the GameStop mania in the previous cycle, that went up to like 280%.
How
of the
is
float.
that possible? Because like obviously in order to go short, you need to borrow shares from someone so you can sell them, right? So how does stock get re-borrowed over 100%? Is it like a reporting glitch,
No, I think it's
or is it actually getting borrowed
No.
and borrowed again?
borrowed and borrowed again. I think they use like synthetic shares. When you actually short, it creates this like share class that doesn't actually exist. That doesn't get included in float, but then you can borrow against that.
Wow. Okay, but the point being that we're not at those levels in 2021.
We're far off of that. But what I want to say about this that I find interesting is like, okay, so you don't have that catalyst to the degree that we had before. Short interest is still high, so there will be some like buying of like shorts that close, but not to the degree that we had before. But I don't know if you guys saw like on Monday, the entire options chain was in the money. So like people
Wow.
who bought call options, every option that was ever sold was profitable in the money. So what that means is like you don't actually need the short squeeze to happen because you get this gamma squeeze. What that means is like the people who sold the calls, that's the market maker.
Right.
They're now they have a liability on their book because they have to pay out to the long call option holder.
They got to pay out their shares.
Pay out the shares. So all of those shares are in the money. So they have to buy stock to hedge their liability. And what we saw is a gamma squeeze. And what I like where I land on this is like at any point when people sell, like people close out their calls because they're like, oh, I made enough money, I close it out. Well, then you see a reversal in the other direction where then now the market maker is like, okay, I don't need to hedge that anymore. Then I'll like sell the common stock. And that's when price comes back down. That's what we saw today. But at any point, the degens can buy more calls. And like as long as the buying continues, price is going to go.
So you're talking about two different types of option buyers. One that is going to hold to expiration and actually take the shares. Like, yes, I want to buy the shares at the strike price that I mentioned, and that's what the market makers are buying the underlying stock for because they might have to be put the shares. And then you're talking about the call option buyer who's just going to sell the option at a higher price than what he bought it for.
Well, I actually think that in this case in particular, almost nobody are going to take the shares because these guys, like let's call them the degens, right?
Yeah.
They'll probably happily wear that crown. The degens are buying all these call options without the intent to take the shares because they can't afford it. Like when we go, like they're probably buying like more calls than they can afford in terms of shares. when you get up to the expiration, they have to close.
Yeah. Yeah. And you need cash to do that. You need a lot of cash.
You need a lot of cash to take the shares. I mean, like you take 100 shares times, the stock price.
Right.
It ends up being a lot of money.
Do you have a prediction or a way that you're going to play this,
So,
if at all? Or
here-
how would you play it if you
So
were
I want to give a shout out to one of our podcast listeners, Ricky. Ricky is a Scope Wealth client, and he's our most degen client, and I fucking love him.
Really?
He's been holding GameStop for 3 years.
No way.
He's been in it for this entire time.
Wow.
And he sold at 100% gain. And what I told him today was like, I have no particular insight into how the degens are going to buy or take profit, but I feel like that's the beauty of a meme stock like this, where it's like Stan Druckenmiller, for instance, like a finance professional has no advantage against somebody with no knowledge. They can like trade GameStop and be on the same level playing field as Druckenmiller on this one, because we don't know like what the outcome is going to be. It's like it's based on how people buy and hold this thing.
I think it's really interesting that Adam Snyder said something too that I want to bring up, but I think it's really interesting that Roaring Kitty Deep Value is on Twitter for some reason instead of Reddit. So that's interesting, especially after the fact that Reddit went public and everything.
Yeah, right.
So Adam Snyder thinks, I don't think it's him. I think someone bought the account.
Somebody bought the account.
That's definitely a possibility.
I don't think it is, given the nature of the level of influence and the level of like government, sort of like oversight that existed before. Like that would be that's a huge
It's
asset.
a fun conspiracy. But the way that this motherfucker diamond handed his shares and call options, you think he's just gonna paper hand his Twitter handle? No fucking way, dude. This is him.
I agree it's him, but I was also thinking, what other Twitter accounts could we buy that would move the market, like even an order of magnitude? Because you could argue you would pay millions of dollars for that account. And I don't know if that's market manipulation. Could be completely illegal.
Yeah, I would never do that.
You would never.
Yeah.
Can we throw this one up on the screen real quick? This is Evans S6. Ethereum Sailor has arrived. Only one problem: he doesn't have billions of dry powder to ape. But anyway, people are like doing hieroglyphics on this guy's memes to try to figure out what they're doing, and it's a little bag holder bias probably. But what we're seeing here is a screenshot of one of the videos in which there is an Ethereum logo in a little bit of one of his clips here.
That's absurd.
We're down bad, boys.
Yeah, that's when you know
We're
it's
down
so bad.
That's bad.
Wow.
Yeah. But I've seen articles trying to like interpret
Decipher.
the memes and the videos and what they mean.
I mean, the meaning is explicit. He captions the videos. He adds like his own sort of like take to the videos, but it's just movie scenes, movie and shows and series.
Brilliant.
I reposted one today. He did the Braveheart freedom scene.
GameStop.
Wait, did he mention? He didn't even mention a stock yet.
No, but in the freedom one, he replaced the word freedom with GameStop.
Oh, he did. Okay, so he is referencing GME
Yeah.
and not my bag
Dude, the
holdings.
conspiracies
Okay.
are getting so thick. This guy just like loves GameStop.
I can't wait till he gets called in front of Congress again, or like the SEC investigates. He's like, I was just posting memes.
Do you remember what he said last time? He just said, "I like the stock."
Yeah.
He said that
Well, he started his
6
intro.
times.
I am not a cat. My name is Keith Gill.
He's
He's
fucking
incredible.
He's legendary.
He's legendary. What do you think of AMC? It's way further below its all-time highs.
I think for as long as these memes go, they will all go. So,
Yeah.
like I already said that I have no insight into how long they go. But like as long as people,
But do you look at like previous all-time highs in the same way you do with crypto? When you look at like a meme stock like this, is it just a completely like black box? Like there's no way to
I
evaluate
think
these things?
GameStop's interesting because like didn't they split the shares? So like I think they're like nearing all-time highs
Yeah.
just off of market cap.
Yeah.
So that's
Oh,
interesting.
because they issued so many shares.
Yeah.
The market cap.
Right.
So yeah. Listen, I don't play like even on Irresponsibly Long. I let Steven talk about all these shit coins. I don't do this stuff.
All right, but clue us in for maybe tomorrow's Irresponsibly Long. Are you selling calls though?
I'm selling volatility.
That's what selling calls is, right?
Also selling puts.
Selling puts.
I'm
Both.
selling both sides.
Okay.
The implied volatility on this name is fucking ridiculous.
Juiciness factor in your spreadsheet off the charts.
It broke.
It broke the juiciness factor of selling options.
It broke. But you know what I'm also considering is like maybe I'll buy some common. Let it ride a little bit. It's fun.
In like a conservative degen fashion.
Yeah, just for the funsies.
Okay, so you are in a little bit.
Well, let's be honest. Last time this thing was in vogue, I played this every goddamn day. I was up like for the pre-market hours, trading everything, and
Knuckle push-ups was your phrase.
You were doing knuckle push-ups in the
He
morning.
was so hyped.
dude.
I'll never forget. He was so jacked, and he sent that to the group chat. He was like, "Fuck Robin Hood.
Now
This is war."
The amount of fun I had in like original GameStop
Yeah.
was like the most fun I've ever had in all of finance.
Yeah, it was fun.
I made the amount of condo in a day. I ended up losing that amount later on. But it was super fun. What I feel now is like apathy. You know, it's like I've seen this movie before and I know how it ends. Like I know when it ends. I don't know like the date that it ends. I know it ends when people take profit.
Yeah.
And like to what degree people want to do that.
I mean,
don't
I had
know.
a few thoughts about this. Like, you remember in 2008, everyone was using, variable rate mortgages, and you fast forward to today, interest rates have spiked, and no one's really effed because they learned their lesson. There's like a tiny fraction of the market that has variable rate interest rates, and I feel like there's like a little bit of learning that goes on. People are more aware this is a degen thing. It can fall apart fast, and there'll definitely be a lot more profit takers, I feel like, this time around. Also,
so.
The other thought was, I don't like this version of Roaring Kitty. I don't like the Twitter version. The
No?
Twitter version just posted memes, but the Reddit version, the deep F in value, that guy posted like a thesis.
Maybe this is a warm
on the
up.
stock.
It's a warm up. He's getting the
But
people
yeah, but
ready.
he's taking it too far. The warm up's too long. Like, give me
Or
the
maybe
fucking
he
meat.
can't. Maybe he feels like he just
Well,
can't.
if he's a value guy and he just pumped the stock like 4x, he's like, no longer good value.
longer
So I'll just keep posting memes.
There also isn't like a clear villain. Like this time around, it was like Melvin Capital, who was like overextended,
Yeah.
short. Then you got him trapped, and they had to get fucking bailed
yeah,
out.
the villain was
They
so
had to get bailed out
important.
by Steve Cohen and Citadel. Otherwise, they were going to lose their shirt. Like now, there's no clear villain. I can't imagine that anybody's like short this name with any size because like you're walking into a buzzsaw. So like it just doesn't feel the same.
Okay. Anything else in this
It's
one,
too
boys?
bad. I'm looking for some excitement.
I know.
No, I
Where's
don't
the
buy shit
excitement
like
in this market?
Yeah, crypto's boring, Eric, these days. He needs something to give him some juice.
This bores me. I actually feel like I'm kind of like Jamie Dimon talking about Bitcoin, where
Yeah.
it's like, it's not that I'm like against it. You meme all you want, boys. I just don't care. Like I feel like that's how Jamie Dimon
That's
actually
very Jamie
feels
Dimon.
about Bitcoin. It's not that he
Yeah.
doesn't understand it. He just doesn't give a fuck.
He's like, it's a $1 trillion asset.
yeah,
Give
he's
me
like,
a fucking
I
break.
got real money to use.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
All right, let's switch to OpenAI
okay.
Mm.
announcements. Why don't
Did you guys see the announcement? Did
I
you
did.
watch it?
I did. I watched the
I
announcement.
saw some clips here and there, and I'm like blown away. But
Mm-hmm.
show me what we
Let's
got
see.
here.
Let's see if this thing works. So can
Well,
we play?
I don't know if the audio is going to work.
Let's just try. Can you put the? I put one in the card there.
A different one?
Oh yeah, a different one.
Okay.
Oh, did I not hit save? That would be atrocious. Oh yeah, that one. That one. Go back.
Which one?
That one.
You want this
Let's
one?
see if it plays.
The interview prep?
Yeah. Oh no, you messed up my timestamp. But go ahead. Oh fuck, it doesn't work. It doesn't
No?
work. No.
Well, that's okay.
All right. Well, the short of it is.
Damn, I wanted to hear the horny GPT.
Yeah. So I mean, the biggest takeaway from this is they made ChatGPT, she's a little randy.
She's so randy.
She's kind of promiscuous.
He, all the variations of it.
Yeah, you could change the voice, right? You
Yeah.
could change the female to male
But
if
the
you
female
want.
one really just lays it on, like
Lays it on thick.
her laugh.
Yeah, she's commenting on what he's wearing.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
you're so funny.
No, honestly, it's mind blowing how like detailed the level of like reaction and emotional reading.
Like, do you think
is.
she would talk that way to a woman?
Wait, I don't know if I've seen that example in the demos.
Do you think a chick would be like,
I don't know.
bitch?
Yeah. I don't know.
There's a lot of superfluous stuff with the flirtiness, though. Like, get to the point.
Yeah, so like here's an example of like, I don't think there's no audio, right? So
No audio.
just here it is as a visual assistant for
Someone who can't see, like
Seeing
who's seeing
impaired?
impaired.
yeah, is that what we say now?
Yeah, he's like asking, like, "Hey, what am I looking at?" And she's talking about, "Well, there's some
ducks and there's a flag and you know.
But she's doing it a lot more hornily.
So these guys in this video, he's doing a math equation.
Oh,
That's
and
Salman Khan.
he-
by the way, Saul Khan is
that
a goat.
Saul
Yeah.
Khan is a fucking goat.
This guy started teaching, I think, his nephew on like a little iPad, you know, helping him with his like tutorials.
Yep.
And
Side by side.
yeah, I mean, you can go back through his Khan Academy videos. I still
Dude,
go back to use them.
sometimes I go through them just when I'm not doing anything because
Same.
it's actually just goated education.
He
Yeah.
breaks it down, very basic, and he goes in like a linear fashion to like teach you the topic. So really cool to see him back up there, and he's with his son now, who's like
Yeah,
he's
well, they're a
old
big
enough.
OpenAI partner. They get early access before most companies.
His son's a
they're
fucking
part of like a
dunce,
small.
by the way. Can't find the hypotenuse.
Couldn't find the
You
hypotenuse.
saw that?
Come on, kid.
I was
think
like, clearly
it's-
this kid's playing along with the gig.
Yeah,
here.
what was that?
He
all
knows where the
about?
goddamn hypotenuse is. Come on, look at him.
It's embarrassing to be his nephew. I didn't find the real time translation that impressive.
I
That's
think-
pretty old tech.
I think the tutor one deserves a little more like praise because it's looking at what's on the screen on the iPad in real time, and the response is like a couple hundred milliseconds. Which
And
is
he can like draw on it.
yeah, as he's talking. That was phenomenal. The one that we wanted to show, which was the interview prep one, he's holding the camera at himself, and he's like, "Hey, I'm about to interview at OpenAI. Can you just tell me how I look?" And she's like, "Oh, well, I don't know if that's the. You definitely have the I've been coding up all night look going,
Yeah,
but
what
maybe you should like
fuck?
run your
Run a comb
hand through your hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he puts on like the silly bucket hat, and she's like, "Okay, that's not also what we're going
but
for."
the way she says it, she's just like, "Oh, Jack,
yeah.
think perhaps without the bucket hat."
Dude, they tweaked up
I
the
can't do the
flirtiness.
laugh, but like it's extreme.
She lays it on thick.
You know when like the hot girl does the like cute laugh in between sentences? Like they literally put that in.
Yeah.
Like the, you know, kind of tosses her hair, does one of these, looks at you in a certain way. She has the voice from her. It's like Scarlett Johansson is talking to you.
Oh, I know.
It's just
Wait, was she the
exactly
voice
like
from
that.
her?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's funny. I put a clip in from the movie Her, which we can't play because
Oh.
we only tested it 3 times and it worked perfectly.
Yeah, so we're
but-
showing examples, but I think to zoom out, there's a couple like interesting things to say about this. High level overview. So first of all, across like benchmarks, this is now arguably the best model in the world across most benchmarks. I think that's fair to say. It is now also available free to everybody,
Cool.
not paid account.
So what do they do
unnecessary.
with you guys' paid accounts?
Well, I've
I
been
get
I've been
higher
opening
limits.
I've been opening the app trying to see if the multimodal thing is live yet, where I can like show the camera. It's not live on my account yet. Like the model's live and the speediness
Yeah.
is live, but I can't show the camera and be like,
the multimodal.
yeah, like,
Okay.
hey, what
Yeah.
what emotion am I feeling
and,
right now?
and you're a paid guy.
yeah.
Yeah. So those things are coming. Like there's a desktop app now. That's pretty big. You got to be on the latest version of Mac OS. Mac got it before Windows, even though Microsoft owns half of OpenAI.
Wait, what the fuck?
You. Oh yeah, that was a funny one.
That's ridiculous.
Oh yeah. Well, the world's on Mac. Sorry, you Android Windows people. You know. Oh God, they're so triggered. But I think, you know, this audience of, I guess, 100 million people they said is mostly Mac OS, and we needed to launch that
But
first.
I feel like
But that is really incredible that Microsoft owns half the company and they
Yeah.
didn't do a Windows app.
I feel like the multimodal is what you need for all the free users, because I don't know what the percentage of paid to free is, but I gotta imagine that like if you want this thing being used by hundreds of millions of people, you got to open up free. And this is like the Her moment. I mean, we have the movie Her. It exists. She can just chat with you.
Yeah.
And
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So I think their thinking was like, this is a guess, but I think it's twofold. It's like, we need to grow users. The way we do that is we make the best thing available for free. We worry about monetizing that more later. Will a large number of people that were on paid downgrade? I think so. But I think because of the back and forth nature of voice being more native and being more real time, you'll run out of limits quickly.
Was there some kind of deal struck with Apple for the iPhone as well?
rumored,
That
but
is a
not
rumor.
announced.
That's a rumor that by summer or by iOS 18 or whatever's next, that we'll see like a Siri integration.
Can you imagine?
I'm
The-
kind of
The latest theory is at the very least it would be like the translation or like certain components of ChatGPT like native to Siri.
Siri sucked for so long.
Dude,
Siri still sucks.
Siri's
unusable.
Siri has been like the worst thing on any phone ever.
They should have just got rid of it after the first like 3 months when
Yeah,
you
and
realized you
this
couldn't
says
do
a
anything.
lot about like Apple, not even playing, partnering.
Well,
That can be looked at two ways, multiple ways.
Well, it's coming. Weird to me that it's coming to iPhone in the summer. Microsoft bought half the company. What did they fucking buy?
Yeah.
Because it's not even launched on any Windows. This is fucking stupid.
Yeah. I mean, they bought the ability to integrate into Azure, like into their platforms.
Sorry, what?
Yeah.
Azure.
Sorry. Yeah, how dare I say it like that?
yeah. Just roll with it.
That's ridiculous to say it correctly. So yeah, you got the best model available for free. You're going to onboard more users. I think that the probability is that there's a GPT-5 or whatever stupid name they end up calling it ready to roll out. So this is a way to first market the best model available for free to everybody, and then bring the upgraded model for the paid users again as well to create a differentiation. But for now, it's just it's a rate limit thing.
Okay, Nick, put you on the hot seat real quick. Change the name. What would you call ChatGPT to make it sound less stupid?
Susan.
Samantha.
Like, just give it
Samantha.
give it a name.
From Her.
Samantha. Oh yeah, might as well
That's
just
her
say
name.
Oh my God, that's
Samantha AI. That's so good.
yeah.
Samantha, she was like, you want to fall in love with that.
Bank of America called their AI Erica. They gave it a name, human name.
Okay, yeah.
I found the real one.
You found the real
You
Erica?
sure
or
did.
what?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you did.
So yeah, then you've got sort of, the multimodal aspect.
Love that.
So now, for people that aren't caught up, your phone becomes a viewing screen and an input.
AI
The-
eyes.
Yeah. You got AI eyes in the room with you at all times. What am I wearing? What am I doing? What is this box?
That's gonna be
You
the
can
most
see how that
common
goes.
question.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Yeah. Text generation from image, just image to text, things like that. The image to text is actually pretty damn good. The reading handwriting, OCR technology is really, really good. The translation is really good. It makes mistakes for sure. Like you can even see in a couple of the thing that they did really well with their demo was, first of all, it was real.
Yeah.
They put a disclaimer, not even a disclaimer. They put a little thing right at the top. Be like, everything you see is in 1x speed and happening. That was a punch in the face to Google for their demo.
Oh, and the Gemini kind of rug pulled
They
everybody.
rug pulled everybody. It was a fake Fugazi demo. But then Google I/O happened, obviously, yesterday.
Yeah, so is Google
So-
fucked on this?
Well,
Well, this was all just to rug Google right before their announcement. They're just at war right now.
I mean, it's funny
know?
because like I think most people have heard OpenAI, if you're into this kind of stuff, announce something, but I don't think most people heard that Google announced stuff. But I saw one thing that was pretty impressive. I mean, the Apple GPT partnership kind of makes me a little nervous for my long-term Google holdings, but I still think they
You
hold.
still hold that stock?
Yeah, I still hold
Dude,
the
I
keys.
got a lot of goods.
Dude.
I
Dude,
like
okay,
goods.
let me give you. Oh, so this is a good example. They actually showed
Not
an instance
bullish.
where you take a picture of a product that you have, just like laying in your kitchen, for example. You're like, I want to return this. And this is where the magic of Google comes in. The Gemini can search your email history, your Gmail history, and go find the order that matches what you just took a picture of, navigate in Chrome to the site, and then process the return for you, fill out the form. Could even like schedule a pickup. You know,
Wait a second. That is epic.
that's what I'm talking about. They have all your data. They have
Yeah.
your Gmail history. They have your browsing history.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
have-
but they have like, they don't have talent anymore, man. They don't have the people.
It doesn't
Like,
matter because they'll catch up so fast. And what people really want
does
is it
matter.
for it to do stuff for you.
It does matter. They're not innovating. You got like mid-tier product managers
This is
like,
such a
leading
good-
these.
Okay, but what
initiatives.
happens when I
Do you know how
tell?
long it takes to make anything happen at Google now?
But what happens when I tell ChatGPT on my iPhone? I'll be like, "Hey, book a reservation for me," and it can't cross-check my calendar because I use Google Calendars. Like, it's not gonna be able to know if I even have the spot available.
How do you know it won't be able to do that?
I don't think it's gonna be able to do that.
That's like even basic apps that we use these days allow you to log in and do authentication with Google and pull that information.
Maybe you're right. I think you're right.
No, come on, that's basic. Like I just signed up for like an investor pipeline tool, and like you just connect to your Google account and it pulls all your emails and pulls all your contacts, and like that's just authentication. Like,
So-
and now that we have a desktop app,
Yeah,
we
I
already
think-
saw the first inklings of this. If you open ChatGPT today, even in the browser, I don't know if it's browser or desktop, it says connect apps, connect your Excel files, connect your Google Drive, connect. You're going to start to see that more.
So what's the best
that
way to get
integration.
exposure to OpenAI? Is that through buying Microsoft stock? Is that
That's
like
the only way I can think
is
of.
the
Yeah,
only way you
that's
can
the
do
only
it?
way.
And
NVIDIA?
if you think
NVIDIA.
that
I don't get why you guys own Google. There's so many better things to own.
Oh, I disagree because I think
But you trying to like spread your risk? Why not pick the fastest horse?
But what is the fastest horse?
I don't know. Nvidia, Bitcoin, like they're why?
well,
I mean,
if you like were to boil down my portfolio and like remove sort of the superfluous, it's like
Microsoft.
it's literally Nvidia, Bitcoin, and Ethereum.
I would just rather own Microsoft over Google any day.
I think
Any day.
Google, first of all, like when you're looking at owning anything, like price matters, right? So it's not just like its long-term future, but the price matters. And Google's negative future is priced in as well.
I do think if their search market share ticks down even a few points, it's not going to be like if it goes down 2%, the stock's not going to go down 2%. It's going to go down like fucking 15%.
But like, you know, when you look at Google, that's like a pretty sustainable business, and with like many outs outside of just search, which is what it is now. This thing's trading at a multiple like severely depressed against the Mag 7.
It's the
That
best.
makes sense.
It's still one of the best business models in the world.
Yeah,
Like
that makes sense.
I can't, and I think they have the data. They might, step on themselves, take too long, but eventually they'll be able to leverage the data. Kind of sad that Apple like is kind of outsourcing this project.
Well, that was
Sucks.
my earlier comment. It's like they clearly had to.
Like they lost.
Yeah, they probably invested billions of dollars into their AI initiative. They kept it completely under wraps, and they realized that they can't win and they need to partner.
I think that they'll probably eventually rug
I
pull
boil it
OpenAI,
down
though.
to sound very simple, but I'm pretty sure that
Right. Like OpenAI's business is not that defensible if it can just be literally copied by Apple eventually, like, and then plugged into all their hardware.
there's no defensibility in any of this.
Right.
There's no defensibility in LLMs. They're all scraping similar information. It's all going to get commoditized, and it's all going to go to zero.
Have you noticed?
cost-wise.
Have you noticed VCs you're talking to start to come around to that narrative, or are they still like, "Oh, how is this defensible?" Like
They don't
dying
get
on
it.
the hill.
They don't get it. They need to listen. I'm sure you saw what I posted. I think you. It's like they need to. Like Mark Andreesen has the right take on this stuff. Like it's a right curve take. It's like no. He just says no. Like no, it's not. The moats are not in the data. And then he has a couple anecdotes that are great examples from the medical field. And he talks about the fact that if you have certain types of data in extremely unique environments, But he's like, show me those. I don't see those. They're not out there. So yeah, again, the LLMs though, it's not even about the data as much as it is about the training, how much actual like human sort of like involvement is there in the training. But even then, it's like these models that exist right now that are available to do things on an open source level, like Llama, is extremely impressive. And that's open source, commercially available to use and build upon. And everything, the beautiful thing about OpenAI is that they continuously set a higher bar and a new standard. And all that does is it pushes everyone else to
be
work
better.
harder.
Yeah.
Like Claude had this benchmark that they were extremely proud about that they used throughout all of their marketing. And 4.0 just beat that. So, you know, again, all this does is like this back and forth battle that on a monthly basis, you're seeing like huge leaps
Which
forward.
is like an ultimate net benefit to the consumer, right?
Exactly. And then costs keep going. It's like this update was amazing. It was like, hey, 2 times faster than GPT-4 Turbo, 50% of the cost. What? Oh, and it's multimodal. What? Like as a developer, as a company, like that's just incredible. Like we don't have access yet, but when we do, it's like our costs just drop 50%.
Yeah.
And then on the consumer side, the latency thing I think is the most impressive thing about this whole update. That experience of using GPT-4 can be a little bit annoying sometimes when you're sitting there and like watching it load and scroll. And now you're having like a real-time conversation. There's
The voice is already
almost close to real
just
time.
the voice back and forth. Like we were driving to the car dealership and we were like, I thought this model was this. And we just turned it on voice and it was on the car. And it was like having a conversation
Dude,
with
it's
omnipotent being.
Wild, dude.
The
It's
advancement
wild.
there is so good.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't
Yeah.
know exactly what the right play is as an investor, but as a consumer, I'm for the fucking heated battle of them.
Yeah,
going
each
at
of these
other.
models, it depends through what lens you're viewing it. If you're looking at it through like a builder's lens, it's amazing because like certain use cases, Anthropic is like phenomenal. Llama serves certain use cases. OpenAI, it just makes it like Mistral. Like these are all like benefits. But as a consumer, you're probably going to go toward the one that has the best UI and UX and the best app. And right now, the only one that does it all is OpenAI. Like I use Claude, but I'm a nerd. Like I'm at the,
Yeah.
I'm like playing with AI on a daily basis.
You
but
better
like,
be.
I'm like other people are not going to go use Claude.
But you're kind of like
in the browser.
Exactly. You're like a early crypto guy right now.
Sure.
Because like most people are still using Google search, you know?
Yeah, like depending on the use case, I'm jumping to Perplexity. I know when I need to jump to Perplexity. I know when I need to jump to Claude to upload a legal document because I like its conversational mode and it's much more detailed and refined in the way that it sorts through and answers. Like I recognize the differences between the models. But again, it makes the whole game so amazing. I also think just in general, this was a huge, like all of these are milestone moments, but this move toward reduced latency and more of a real-time sort of like aspect to the whole thing, I think is a milestone moment for sure.
And I also just, it's simple, but like the ability to interrupt the voice back and forth. I don't know if most people use the voice. I'd be curious, and anyone in the chat uses the voice mode on the GPT app, the iOS app, but it's amazing.
So
but
I don't often.
I use it all the time.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
amazing.
because it's too
Verbose.
one-dimensional for me.
I think you're like
I'm too ADD.
I think you're faster
I'm
than
too
the voice.
fast.
Yeah, you're too fast.
So like I need the answer so fast that I can read through it and then I need to
Move
read
on
it.
to the next
We
thing.
could- but
Yeah, so
now-
I submit my voice, but I need text back.
But-
Because like when you're in the text mode, you can submit your voice.
So that
I
was-
use that constantly.
Okay.
That was
Because
one of
I can
my-
get my output.
That was one of my criticisms.
Input
is
faster,
that,
output.
Like this horny girl doesn't talk fast enough. Like
Yeah. So like if you want speed, you need input your voice, output its text.
Can't you tell it stop flirting? Just tell me the goddamn answer.
That's how impatient I am though with like
I know. Yeah, you're
shit.
fast.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
fast.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, but she is a naughty girl. She is so naughty. Like I'm serious. If you objectively listen to the voice and you hear her giggles in between sentences,
Yeah, the giggles are so
the
unnecessary.
giggles are like so horny. She's so.
You
man,
and Steven on that.
That is guaranteed coded in. Like they were like, make people want to fuck you. Like that's in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, that's in there.
I think
I haven't asked it yet. Did they tell you to make it?
well,
make
can
me
you
want
slide
to?
the scale?
Oh, you
Yes.
can't, but they can.
Yeah. Oh, I think you can tell
Isn't
in
that
custom
one of the-
instructions.
That's one of the
That's
things.
true.
is-
You could put that in your custom instructions. Be less horny.
Sam
gonna try
Altman
that.
posted a tweet, just said her.
We just said like
Yeah.
be more.
What if? Go on.
Do you
All
think
right.
anyone's going to fall in love and say this is?
Yes.
Oh,
100%.
God.
It's already
Sentient?
happened. It's
Yeah.
already happened.
Oh God. Yes.
We're already there. We're her. I think we're one or two iterations away from people freaking out and walking into the streets and being like, "I love her." Shout out to Jay. On that one.
All right. Well, from one delusion to another, can we go to the delusion calculator?
Yes.
I think this is so much fun.
Okay, we don't need audio for this. This is good.
Oh,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
can't play your her clip.
No, we can't.
What the hell?
I'm sorry.
That's
What
good.
happened?
We're not demonetized yet.
Yeah.
We have to.
Yeah, we would have definitely been copyrighted on this. All right. So can you pull up the delusion
The
app?
last one.
Yeah, this one.
All right.
Okay. So this is an app that tells you what % of men or women in the United States meet your standards. And I think a few weeks ago, maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago, we played some clips of women talking about their standards, and particularly their husband, not like, someone they would sleep with or a boyfriend, but like their husband standards. And so Armand, I wonder if you could kind of play the controls here, and we can kind
Okay.
of show what an ideal
5
mate.
for 5 with dimples.
Yeah. So from a woman's perspective, obviously a man wants kids. I think yes, if it's a husband.
Sure.
So let's select yes. Age. What are we gonna put this ideal mate at?
This is the woman doing this.
Yeah, the woman being like, "This is my ideal man."
Okay, so she wants somebody. What age?
Probably like 28
to 40.
40. I don't know, kind of old, but yeah, sure.
I'm a little too old. That sounds old as fuck.
Wait, this is who am I right now?
You're the woman.
You're the woman.
What am I?
You just have high
A
expectations.
woman with high standards.
You have like mate dysmorphia.
Yeah.
Like you look at Instagram so much, and
Imagine you're like a hot 27
How old am I?
year old influencer or something.
27.
27
Yeah,
year
so you
old.
go-
Okay,
you
so
go-
he has to be at least my age.
okay, but definitely older. You
30.
go to like 38.
No.
No?
Okay, fine. All right, fine.
Okay. Height. Okay. First of all, minimum 5'11". Like,
No, let's just put it at 6 because no
They all
chick,
put 6.
no chick would put under 6.
I mean, I think they
No
will
short
put
kings, huh?
5'10".
I think they will accept under 6, but their filter is 6.
oh,
Their filter is generally probably 5'10".
okay.
Should we go higher?
No, I think that's good. That's good. We're being generous here. Okay.
All right,
Income.
5'11", 6'5", too tall.
No. You just go high as possible.
5'11 to max.
Really? I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
gonna date
Yao
an
Ming
8-footer.
in. Yao Ming's in.
All right.
Okay. Minimum income. Jack that bad boy up. I mean,
300.
yeah, I think that's what we were seeing in some of
I
these.
saw a video where they were like, didn't we play that?
Yeah, we played it.
Oh man,
She's
women
like,
were so.
I don't know. I feel like I need like 450,000.
But that girl was actually the most thoughtful. She's like, okay, after tax of the things I want to do, she was being
She
honest.
was being pragmatic about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, in her head, but I think the delusion calculator will
is
tell the
300
answers.
good?
Yeah, I think 300's good. Forget the ethnicity, hair color, eye color, education, religion, whatever.
Just
How
put
about
any.
smokes? No.
Sure.
Drinks? Yes.
Yeah.
We want an education? I think we need an education.
I think that it
No,
just
you're
matters
right.
what you earn.
That's true.
Um,
No
Excludes
drinks.
married. Probably, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
you don't want
exclude
like an
drinks
affair. You want a
either.
husband.
Exclude married. Yeah. of
Not
course.
married and
No. Oh no, you want to
exclude-
exclude. You want to say yes on exclude married
Oh.
and exclude obese. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let's see what we get here. Scroll up.
Oh my God.
Oh,
You're joking.
oh my God.
Oh my God.
The delusion calculator.
It's 1% of 1%.
0.02%.
Yeah.
0.02%.
This
So-
is the top 1% of 1%.
1%.
0.02%. And Armand, can you read out what it says? How many people out of how many people?
Yeah, it says out of 165 million American men, there are 32,000 that meet your standards.
Oof.
Wait, really?
So you're talking about like, let's call them like 6'1" males that make over 300,000 that aren't obese.
Okay,
just to
bring-
get down to like the.
No,
Bring-
5'11".
Okay,
I put 5'11".
bring the.
I qualify.
Okay. Bring the. Yeah, me too. Me too. Sorry.
I had to make sure I qualified.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just
Sorry, all short kings out there. Yeah. But, bring
Noted.
Bring the income down to like 6 figures, because I actually think the numbers are still pretty astounding if you just like go to
150.
By the way, this is all male, so this includes like a 1-year-old that's a male, right? Like this is what's the total? 164.
not a
Yeah.
1-year-old, 27-year-old on the
Yeah, but I'm
minimum
telling
age.
him the
I mean,
denominator.
even at 150,000 a year, it's 0.1%.
It's 1/10 of 1%.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
1/10
better.
of
What's the
1%?
absolute number? What's the absolute number? How many
it
people?
goes from 36. That was it. 36,000.
Yeah, 30,000.
211,000.
Okay, better.
You grew your pool.
But you don't get the house in Rancho Santa Fe.
No.
No.
To go to 150,000, these women have a
You don't wait. 150. You don't get a house.
No.
Yeah.
You don't get shit.
You don't get shit. You get a tall guy that's your age, who's not married.
So
You're not that tall, bro.
yeah, you're not that tall, dude. Stop including yourself.
Okay.
So
Oh my God.
my friend Mike sent this to me, and he was like, he sends it to his single girlfriends. We're like, I'm just like a basic girl. I just want like, a guy 6'1", makes like good money and like in decent shape. And you look at those three things, and your dating pool
Is 1/10 of 1%.
right. So we got a little mating dysmorphia going on in this world.
And we literally did not set ethnicity, eye color. This is not like, blonde, blue-eyed Bob. This is literally anybody. This is
Looking
anybody.
for a man in finance. 6'5", blue eyes.
Like
You heard
if you
this one?
actually started setting some of these parameters, you'd be screwed. Yeah.
Dude,
Oh my God.
like go to 100K.
That's
Go to
illuminating.
100K.
That's very illuminating.
Go to 100K with the same parameters. It's like a averaged height male,
Fine. I'm going to drop it down to 5'8".
10.
What?
No,
Are you sure,
no.
guys? Are you
Too
sure
low.
7.5 isn't average?
I'm going 5'8".
Just asking for.
I'm going 5'8",
Okay.
which is
First
short
of all,
king.
no girl I know would go.
We'll put that on. They don't put that. Yeah.
Never met him.
Is that why I didn't do well in the apps
Point
back in the
three.
day?
0.3.
You just gotta lie, man. Like do it like the basketball roster.
Oh,
I wa-
yeah.
I was like
Brawny.
I was 6'2" on the pamphlet.
Oh,
Yeah, that's wild.
Okay, what is it? It's 1/3 of 1%.
okay. Can we do average salary too? I think average salary is like 45.
Okay, go to like
50K.
just choose the average male
or
is what you said.
median.
Median.
Yeah. Do like 50. That's
Just,
normal.
Just the salary?
That's normal.
Yeah, median.
0.6. Half.
Wait, hold
half a
on.
percent.
Like the median.
Well, this is
You're excluding obese,
you're
excluding married.
saying not obese.
And the age thing is the biggest.
Age parameters 27 to 38. Wants kids. If they didn't want kids, it would increase the pool by 2, double, but still it'd be 1%.
1%.
You get 1% if they don't want kids. It's 0.6 if they do.
So just to find the median guy, they have a 1%
What does
chance.
this
Of
look like
all males in the United States. That includes anyone who was just born yesterday to like a 95-year-old. So
Okay,
yes.
well, this is kind of a silly metric then.
Well, what does
But
this
no,
look
look at
like
the
for-
absolute
for
number.
guys?
What's the absolute number for this average? A
A
million?
million.
A million.
Okay.
So this seems more
A
reasonable.
million out of 165 million.
And then you live in a city, right? You don't date across the entire United States.
Right. So like
you live in a
if
city.
you had like a city option on
Oh,
here.
you're screwed.
You're
You've got
just-
like 7 people.
Yeah, you're fucked.
No, you literally have 7 people.
And this becomes the hypergamy that we've talked about
Yeah.
Right.
on many pods.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm kind of glad I'm married now.
You're not married.
I am not married yet. But I'm basically married. Same thing.
I'm glad I missed the app thing. I found my woman 1 or 2 months before Tinder came out. And we were both just like, wow, glad that we met each other in real life.
Hold on. Tom Nom Nom wants you to add in chunky boys. So he
Okay,
says,
all right.
he says exclude obese.
All right.
Chunky boys.
But what income?
Same.
No, same.
Just
Same.
leave it same. Okay.
Ooh.
1% is you include chunky boys. It's still 1%.
Because the age alone is like a biggest part of it.
Yeah.
But look, it just doubled.
It
So is that saying
doubled.
that half of America is obese?
Yeah, it doubled.
Yeah.
Half of the
It's
guys
1%.
in this bracket are
Women
Yeah.
are fucked.
Well, what does this look like for men?
I don't know. Do you dare to put in your wife?
I mean, sounds a little risky.
Yeah, it sounds a little risky.
Okay, put in a generic woman.
No, but
Is that
I've
insulting?
put in like roughly the
How do I do
character
the guy
type of our
version?
significant others, and they're also in rare form.
You hit the jackpot, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why. I
And by the
fucking
way,
put a
this
ring
has
on it.
this has nothing to do with attractiveness. That's not even like part of the scale.
Yeah, I think a lot of guys like overthink it. It's like you find someone you like, you get along with, you want to do life with. Come on, man.
Is it easier for guys to
put a ring
find their ideal mate than women? Because as I was playing with this calculator, I was thinking it's actually harder for women to find their ideal mate.
Yeah, I haven't played around with the stats enough to know, but like, typically guys they're more dependent on for income.
Right.
So you could slide that around, and then women probably more dependent on I don't know, chunky factor.
That's the only factor you got. I don't know. Height, maybe. Also part of it.
Not really.
At least for me. I don't
No.
know about you guys, but
No, nobody cares about a woman's height. They only care about a man's.
All right. Let's put in a. Can we put in a hypothetical woman real quick, and then we can kind of move on?
Yeah, how do I switch it?
I think you scroll up and.
Men start here.
Oh no.
No.
That's what they're dating
It's
lead
the
gen.
upsell.
Oh.
I don't see a
Okay. Go
switcher.
to. No, there should be switch male, female up top.
Donde?
Scroll.
There's no scroll.
Refresh the page. Come on, you're Techno King.
I don't see. Oh, there it goes.
Okay. All right, we're looking for women.
All right, wants kids. Yes.
Age, younger.
22.
Yeah, I mean Leo dates
I'm
22-year-olds.
not
So
doing 22. That's you're still brain cells aren't working yet.
they haven't fully formed.
25. This is for marriage.
25.
Yeah, marriage
25.
to 30.
33.
All right,
35.
33, yeah.
35.
Okay, height.
As short as it can go.
Yeah.
4 foot.
So
What?
midgets all the way to 5'6".
No, let's say 5'1".
No,
Five.
lower. Just
5.
5.
Okay, 5.
5. I can't do 4s.
You can't get in the 4s, dude.
And then personal cutoff. Sorry if this insults anyone. 5'7".
No, we got a 5'11.
No,
You got 5'11.
You're going 5'11"?
just because you have Nordic descent doesn't mean you
Dude,
can
heels
just like
on,
take down.
That's towering.
No, we
That's
like that
towering.
kind of thing.
No, you do because you have Nordic descent. What is this? Your Swedish part coming out?
Yeah.
You want to
No.
be just...
No. 2 out of 3 veto denied.
Yeah, I think 5'7" is already pushing it.
I'd take it over to 6.
You're not
6
counting the
cooks in a
heels.
few.
All
What
right.
are you going to do with the heels?
I like
Income? Do we have any requirements?
No.
Works?
No.
Works or
No.
no? Doesn't need to work. Okay, we'll skip all of that. Smokes, no.
No.
Drinks, either.
Yeah, either is good.
Is
We
not
don't want married
married
women, so
and
exclude
is
marrieds.
not
Yes. No.
obese.
You need to select those both. Yes.
Oh. 1%.
1%. Little
That's
easier.
better than 0.6.
Little easier, boys.
Actually, it wasn't 0.6. It was 0.02
Yeah,
is what we want, is what they want.
I think so.
This is our version of what we want.
All right,
We get 1%. They get 0.02%.
take it up to a job.
That's interesting.
Put a job in there, like
Very
30,000, just to
Yeah,
see.
let's go with minimum wage.
Yeah.
No change.
Literally same. Literally same. Wow.
Wow, okay.
Non-factor.
Non-factor.
Okay, there it goes.
Oh, okay. They're laughing at Eric questioning 4-footers.
Yeah, but I'll go above 6 though.
Yeah, Vibe says at least 40% of Americans.
I like a good
obese.
hobbit.
Like a Nordic Viking.
Vibes and Max also say, dude,
I'm
raise it
little.
to at least 6 feet.
6 feet.
Yeah. I think in college we
Really?
used to call tall women Nordics because
So
of
I'm
you.
5'11".
Yeah, I'm into that kind of thing.
I dated a tall girl one time, and it was shout out to the tall women though.
You're gonna say gross?
No,
No, he was gonna say other things.
No, it was just tough to, because they want to wear. They need to date someone. If they're over
Taller.
5'8",
Yeah.
they need to date a guy who's over 6 to feel feminine.
I agree.
Which unless you don't want to feel feminine and you want to
But it's like-
feel like you're the taller
It's
one.
kind of like a circular reference because like all I'm looking for is what I'm into on this.
Yeah,
Right,
we
6'5".
know. We know.
All right, I'm gonna go 6.
Whole town knows.
5
pal.
foot to 6 foot, and I'm even gonna go 4'10".
4'10", bro.
4'10". That gives us 1.4%.
You get 2 million people though.
2 million.
All right,
Okay, so
doable.
Who's getting married?
Well, I think people are getting married. It's just what they're putting up with.
Like, where are the other people?
Well, actually, people aren't getting married. They're not having kids. We've talked about that.
Where
so-
is everybody else? We've talked about the ends of the tail.
Okay, so
this is just matchmaking.
So I had it was a psychology class in school, and this guy in San Diego State, it's a 500-person class. The professor was epic. He was tenured, so he's like, I don't really care about the test. Let's just talk. And he talked about this point about mating, and he just said that like, whoever you are in that chart right there, you just tend to match whatever's equivalent to the other gender.
So you sort of find your if you're like a 7 out of 10, you find a 7.
He basically was like 5s match with 5s, 6s match with 6s, 7s match with 7s.
But we put in a 5 guy, and it was like 1%.
Well, yeah, that's because the age. We were looking at like people from 20 to 30.
It's amazing that this doesn't even like factor in like looks or
Right,
you
that's
know,
what I'm saying.
anything.
Anyway, I think this is a funny tool to send friends who have a little mate dysmorphia, and then they just get like a quick reality check.
You got anybody in mind you would send this to right away?
I don't know. I don't have any like. Oh, I got a friend of a friend that I met on this little Joshua Tree trip that probably has like, they're like, I just have like a very simple checklist. I was like, oh God,
Yeah.
go on.
So it's funny because like this is reality, but the apps create a false reality because you get to do all these parameters and you think that all of these people are your match on paper.
70% of them are bots.
Yeah. So
Okay.
That's crazy, man. I don't know how anybody's getting married if these are the actual numbers. Doesn't make sense.
Well, that's why I think this is the whole point. That like, if you looked at social media, you would be like, well, these are the only qualified mates, and it just fucks up with what's going on in reality.
This looks even more rare than what social media would portray.
I think it's more reality of what they're trying to portray.
ban social media.
We literally put in a median dude.
Right.
It was a 1% probability you find a median dude.
Of a certain age. Go ahead. I did test this calculator, by the way. I like jacked it all up, and it did equal 50%, roughly 50% of the population.
It does come out.
Yeah, because
Okay.
I also was like,
I started
wait a second.
questioning. Yeah.
I just like maxed out all the ranges, and
Okay.
it did equal 50%.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go move on to do the rich get richer. This is a little generational wealth question. So, Armand, can you tee up this Mr. Family Office?
That's true. I
Tweet.
just did it, and it does jack up. Okay.
All right, so this is actually a profile I've followed for a while now. This guy manages a family office for a wealthy person, and he's got a lot of experience managing family offices. Family offices are usually like internal employees for families that have so much wealth they need a CFO, they need a bookkeeper. There's basically like a whole finance team that helps them manage their investments, their checking accounts, purchases, accounts payable, accounts receivable, everything you can imagine. So anyway, he posts this tweet. Where'd it go? Armand, are you scrolling? There we go. Okay, he says, do the rich really stay rich? About 70% of a family's wealth is squandered by the second generation. By the third generation, it's 90%, according to a widely quoted longitudinal study of about 3,200 families conducted over 25 years by U.S. wealth consultancy, the Williams Group, in 2002. So we always talk about how the rich get richer, but it seems like, and we talked about this last week after the pod. We were having some drinks, chatting about it. The first generation, makes the money. The second generation probably maintains it, but it seems to be, and this is second generation is the one that squanders quite a bit of it. But
Yeah.
to me, it's the third generation that really just fucks it up.
By the third generation,
Can you explain the psychology of what you said? Because I'd never heard that before, and it was so fascinating to me.
So this is
Like
something
the
that.
difference you mentioned between the second and the third.
So this is something my parents are concerned about because they have kind of like made it, and they have groomed me to sort of keep it and grow it. But their concern is like, how long does our like legacy sustain? And they've looked at stats like this, and they say like, look, we understand that by the third generation that it's most likely this stuff gets squandered. So how do we protect against this outcome? And they're sort of preparing me to be this guy who can play this
But
role.
they're not worried about you. Obviously, I mean, I know you, but like that's not their concern. They're more worried about like your kin.
Right. And like, my kids would be the third generation. My
It's
kids
just
are
interesting though. Remember, you were talking about like when when the first generation makes it, the children of that generation watch that transformation occur. And so many of the like characteristics that person, those parents have, stick with them, and the personality generally doesn't change. Like they don't, they weren't born into wealth. Your parents weren't born into wealth.
Yeah, my parents were one immigrant and one like parents were immigrants. They both had no money and like made it all themselves. And they have this like keep your money kind of like ethos, and have like instilled that within me.
But you also, it just happened naturally because you kind of saw the run up, as a child.
Yeah,
might have
so
been early on as a child, but
So
still.
I think like that installation
You saw hard work.
of
You're-
that
you know.
that ethos is instilled more through osmosis than like explicit
Yeah.
verbal installation.
Yeah.
So like I wonder how my kids are going to respond if they don't see
Yeah.
that
Well,
that hero's journey.
right.
I think you were saying, Nick, that it's like the difference is like imagine being born into that world where then you're viewing that parent who of course had their own career and worked and did things, but there was a certain amount of wealth that passed down to them
There's a certain level of comfortability
that
just
they
existed
were just born into.
from day zero.
And so their path toward actually creating meaning in their lives often appears to be like, no, I don't want to make it. I want to squander it. Like squandering it almost might not be anything more than just like a way of carving their own path.
Yeah.
Like to sustain that wealth is like a form of like, well, I'm just I'm like running the playbook that was passed down to me. Sometimes it's like a family business. Sometimes you see those last a few generations, but sometimes it's just pure wealth, and then you have to figure out what to do with it. And oftentimes, people, I think, have like an inclination to want to struggle. Like squandering it is, I want to see if I can make it.
You think that's part of the
I
psychology
know
there?
it's that. I know it's that. I guarantee it's that. I think it's definitely that. I think that people, when they're bored, they wither, they die, they atrophy, and eventually they get to the point, like so many people that like third, fourth generation wealth, they get into drugs. That's a huge concern. They can become very difficult people. They weren't born into seeing like the evolution of like this person who like, worked their ass off and
We can't afford
accumulated
drugs.
wealth and accumulated wealth. And like, this is the this is why we sacrifice for today in order to live a better life tomorrow. Like that doesn't get instilled like the way that your parents like probably instilled in you. And so by the time you get to the third or fourth generation, it's like, I don't want any of this. I want to figure it out for myself.
I mean, we talk
that's a big
about
part of it.
how
And again, speaking as someone who hasn't been exposed to seeing it, but I sense that that's the case.
I think it's more of what you originally said, which is the kids don't see the like hero's journey of the hard work that goes into it, and also the pain, because we often talk about, and we said it multiple times on this podcast, like being an entrepreneur is like eating glass and staring down like a dark abyss of a hole. Like it is ultimately freeing, but in the process, it'll like make you curl up in a fetus position at times and just want to cry as like a grown masculine man, like it still does that to you at these like, infrequent times, but it does happen. And I think like if your family saw the stress and the pain and the like, and then also the reward of it, like, wow,
Yeah.
you sacrificed all this and you are
The
working
enjoyment
these hours.
factor's higher. You're saying the gratitude is higher.
Yeah, like, and
Yeah.
they see the gratitude in you, like, oh my God, we can take this vacation and not
Yeah,
have
we
to worry.
earned it. Here's how we earned it. They
Yeah.
saw what actions resulted in the earning of it.
if you don't
it wasn't just like magic.
But if you don't see it, then I don't think you can feel it.
right.
Even the stories, like there
Maybe
were
you're
stories.
right. Maybe it's not an intentional squandering, but I bet you a certain percentage of cases are. I feel strongly that like, but it is probably the more common thing is just like the lack of gratitude and the lack of witnessing the struggle probably causes like they just don't have the skills to retain it.
Okay, so I was thinking about
Because
what.
to get it, you had to be grateful. You had to work your ass off.
Yeah, and I was like flipping this on his head, and what I don't think it is, it's definitely not a network, and it's definitely not the skills, because like if you're born in like a few generations of entrepreneurs or successful, business people or whatever it is that they grew well, scientists, whatever it is, like you inherently pick up those skills. You might pick up an inclination to become an engineer if your, mother or father are engineers. Like those skills are always around you, and the network is always around you. The friends, the associates, you might see them at, in your social circles as a kid growing up. So like it's not those, right? So it's a psychology thing more than the ability thing, because I don't think, like, it'd be hard to argue that a third generation whatever doesn't have the skills or the network to pull it off, which oftentimes for the first generation is the toughest part. It's like, I don't know anyone in this. I don't have the skill. I have to go learn it myself. I don't have the capital. So skills, capital, network, the ingredients are there. It's just they don't see the struggle. They don't have the gratitude.
Yeah.
So I guess like I think it's an interesting conundrum, because I believe that as you guys continue your hero's journey, and we all do, like this will be something that we all face. That would be like an awesome ending, that we all face this conundrum.
Right.
If I make this applicable, what I think I see is like something that my folks are doing now, which is like protecting against the squandering of wealth. Okay. So one way in which they're doing that is they're using like trust structures. So they like to think of themselves as this legacy. They made this wealth and they want to like be this provider over a long period of time. One way they're doing that is like creating these trusts. So a trust that they've created is to not just give money to the progeny and the the lineage. It's to pay for education for all of the lineage. So it's like this money doesn't just go to you guys. This money exists to pay for your education, so you never have to make that hard decision that says like, oh, I got into Harvard, but I can't afford it, so let me go to the state school. Like, no, that's off your plate. You don't have to take a student loan. You can like go to whatever school you get into or whatever you aspire to be, whether that's trade school or whatever, that's already provided, but the money doesn't just like get handed.
So I'm a executor on one of our mutual friends' trusts, and he sat me down. He's like, so you're on the paperwork, but like, I just want to tell you what I want. And he was like, education, just max it. If they blow it all in education, I don't care. And like, if we're not there and you need to decide, like if they come to you for like a Ferrari, tell them fuck off. But he was more about, invest in your education. And I was like, what if they would like to start a business as their education? He was like, you can go ahead. You determine, like, if that's the case. If that's the way they want to learn, then
I was wondering about the same thing.
yeah. I found another route to go around. So
I think starting a real business is an education and a cool way.
arguably better education.
Arguably
I
better
think Tim
education.
Ferriss was the first one who was like, your best MBA could just be, instead of spending 50 grand, like put 50 grand into the thing you want to learn, actually. So this was by by a handle called
Punch himself.
Buy High, Sell Higher. She says, I'm going to give you guys who have made 100 million plus net worth, first generation, some real simple, effective estate advice. On death, sell everything and go 90% S&P 500, 10% treasuries in a trust. Withdrawal limit matches what the beneficiary earns in income. That's it. End of story. So basically, it's like the trust will double your income, but you have to earn.
That's interesting.
I thought that was like a different way. I hadn't heard about
Cool
that before.
policy. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tyler in the chat my cuz, says hits different when it's grandpa's money. But he also questions, is there a difference between squandering the money versus die with zero mindset? So another story that you could weave is the third generation sees how much sacrifice first and potentially second generation did. They worked their asses off. They enjoyed nothing. And maybe they're like, maybe the new generation's like, well, no, it's about like doing activities and like doing things and living life. And if we have the means to do it, is that, should we just go about that? And should I now engage, not with my money, but the family's money, a die with zero mindset? And, you could see two people who didn't make their money, but going down kind of the similar like activities. And we all have those like people in our lives who are part of that. They kind of spend money on things we would call egregious, but could they actually just be living the die with zero mindset, just with grandpa's money? And is that bad?
What a question.
What do you plan to do?
Well, I certainly don't plan to live die with zero with someone else's money. That sounds pretty fucked up.
That's interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
But like I've been like tapped to be sort of the usher of these wishes. So I intend to sort of like.
Yeah, but you're just managing it. You're making your own money, but like you're managing it for whatever they want. It's kind of like the executor of a trust. They don't get the money to like use it. They're just like, I have instructions, and my instructions are to like invest in this way.
And since you're in the same position, I think what I'm trying to do is like be very clear with me and very specific with like your wishes, because I don't want to live in a gray area where everything comes back onto my, my desires or whatever. It's like, I want them to be your desires.
Do you think that the die with zero policy could ever be seen as like just hurtful or disrespectful? Like the idea is that you actually create experiences with your children and all those things, or yourself, so they get to participate in that. But do you think there are children that would say like, damn, really? Like nothing?
Like the fourth generation's like, okay, Dad, you are so cool. We do the coolest shit, but you literally left me with nothing, not even a little starter pack. Like you spent Grandpa's money on all this stuff that we did, and there's now my like expectations, are way out of whack in life. Is that what you're saying?
I'm more just wondering, like the policy, the book, like the like, idea of die with
like
zero,
even for
like
generation zero.
Generation Zero.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
No, I think Generation Zero should be able to do whatever they want. I think.
Like they earned it. They should be able to do. Like,
yeah, that's
if
like
they want to
the
leave
conversations I've had with my
nothing.
folks. Like, you guys earned it. Do whatever you want.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I say that to my parents all the time. It's a different level, but I tell them all the time I don't want anything. Like I'm like I want I want to take care of you while I can, and whatever. I don't think children expect anything. I think
it's a certain type of children, because
maybe
I have two business partners that their parents
actually, that's true. In America in particular, there's a lot of people that like have that expectation.
They expect.
Yeah, that's not for me. Maybe it's a cultural thing, but like that's just doesn't exist. Like we don't talk about it. We don't expect anything. You like your parents move in with you when they get older. They never go to a senior care of any kind ever.
That social contract is kind of like
Ever.
dissipating.
Like that
It's
would
weird.
be so disrespectful.
Yeah.
Things like that.
But I had two business partners at like age 25 to 35. Both of them were like, just told their parents, spend all of your money. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know why you're keeping this. Just use it.
Yeah,
like,
I tell my dad all the time.
Go travel, go spend it. Like, there's no reason to save it. Like, I will be fine.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't need it. Yeah. I also kind of like this whole, the hero's journey.
Yeah, but I think like you're gonna worry about it when
Yeah.
you're there, and you're like,
I
oh
know.
goddamn, now
What do you
these
do?
these little shits are gonna squander all.
No,
my
they're gonna
hard
learn.
work.
Yeah.
They're going to
sure.
learn. They're not going to like it either, probably.
They're not
Like,
gonna like it.
the thing that you want to like force upon your kids the most is probably the thing that they'll like just want to stay away from.
Well, I
I'd
think
imagine.
the themes across all the different like ways you play the trust and passing of the wealth that I think is most interesting is like some level of earning it. You know, don't sit around, do nothing. Either it's toward your education, you're earning it by getting educated. You're so I'm matching you dollar for dollar. Some kind of creative way in which, you know, it's not just being handed to you for nothing. For
I think
no exchange.
like one thing
Even if you deal with a kid, even if you're dealing with a kid, it's like that. It's like, you know, hey Jimmy, I'm not going to just hand you the $10. Like, go do the dishes, and then I'll give you the $10. Like, you teach that from a young age.
I think also like one thing I did in mine, for my hypothetical kids was like I pushed the date way out. Like, I don't know, I think some people choose like 25 or 30, but I push it even further because like I'd imagine they're going to want to have certain things for themselves a lot sooner than they're 40 years old.
Yeah, you can't like coast your way to like middle age.
Yeah, it's more like Social Security. It's like,
Right.
okay, like, yeah, by the time you're like, you know, older, hopefully there will be like some safety net. But, you know, if you want these things in like the prime of your life, then use the prime of your life to like earn it. And
Yeah.
and along that way, hopefully I'm still there. That's like, I will help you. Here's like a network, and here's like skills. Here's how I did it. Here's how this person did it. Like, you're already a level ahead. Like, you should be able to fucking earn it.
You guys ever seen the Rothschild family?
No.
There's a way that they do it.
How do they?
They fucking marry each other.
They wait. Is that verified? Is that rumor?
I'm not like a credible source on
Cousins
that.
are diddling each other. Is that what you're saying?
On that, but I think the rumors
Keep it in the
abound
family.
that they just keep the money within the family.
Is that like, hey, listen, cuz I'm gonna get a package and you're gonna get a package. So with our packages combined, we're good. All right. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm not a credible source on that. Let's move on.
Do you guys have life insurance?
No, I have no dependents. So
What do you mean? You have a wife?
Wife.
She's not dependent on you, but I'm just saying, like, you know.
No, I think like that's been my answer for a long time because I haven't had dependents. But once I have a child, if in the event that I do have one, then I would probably get a fixed term life insurance policy. Yeah.
My view on it has been like whatever's in my trust is the life insurance.
Okay.
And I asked my business partner about this recently because he has it. I'm like, what do you like? Whatever you have, just pass it on. Like it's enough, you know. And he was like, yeah, but like, if he's like, we're gonna buy a house soon, and there's a mortgage, and I don't want her to have to liquidate stuff. You know, if my wife lives on, I don't want to have to liquidate stuff just to pay the monthly mortgage because if she doesn't work at some point. So anyway, his idea was like buy enough to just pay off the house, buy enough life insurance to pay off the house. But anyway,
got it.
I don't. Are you thinking about it?
Well, I get hit with all the ads now.
Dude, the life insurance schemes are
I think it's important.
So twisted.
Like regardless of like your portfolio, I think the reason you described is the same reason. It's like you want some like ability to know that like, I mean, I guess it's all relative, right? But yeah, the portfolio way works, or I think like a term life, the whole life does not make sense because if I'm living a long time, which that's exactly the plan. It's like I am going to have accumulated a lot more wealth by that point. And
whole life is a fucking scam.
It's a scam. And it's also like you're combining like investing with
and they're taking
insurance.
Like the insurance
I don't need you to invest
is making
for
the
me.
rip on that.
Yeah, so like I'm going to invest my money to build the portfolio and the wealth, and then this should just cover
I've been pitched
short
these
term.
like crazy insurance schemes where like you're putting in a significant amount of money and they're like it'll grow.
Put it on him. Put it on him.
He's got to go. It'll
He's
be
talking.
Yeah, here you can go press it over there. It's not too far. But no. Anyway, let's just chat because they were pitching these like proposals where you put in a bunch of money and then it grows tax free. And these proposals get really complex, and all I can see is like fee after fee after fee wrapped into it. So I don't know. I think this would be a good chat in the Money Channel because I think life insurance could be good.
I'm curious what other people are doing out there. I came across a couple that I found interesting. Actually, an entrepreneur, a founder I greatly admire, Cody Barbo. I've told you about him. He started Trust and Will.
Oh, okay.
So Trust and Will is an
Is it trustandwill.com?
yeah. And yeah, they've exploded over the last few years. And so they're a SaaS company that makes it easy for you to set up your own trust and will. So I'm probably going to,
Yeah, you
do
should.
that, use my friend's company. But yeah, I think like it makes sense. It's important. It's difficult conversations to have for a lot of people. But I was surprised by the data. Actually, I saw an ad that was talking about like only 40% of families have discussed what should happen in the event of an untimely, demise or whatever. And I was like, really? It's that high? I didn't realize.
I worry about that a lot
I didn't know.
because, like,
People
you
talk
have
about
dependents. If they depend on you every month or,
Yeah.
Whatever, you have to think about it if it's irresponsible not to.
Yeah.
Can I tell you about a dirty investment that I had
Yeah.
a few friends invest in? So, since we're talking about life insurance policies, have you ever heard of buying other people's life insurance policies, like cashing
I
them out?
have.
So,
I have.
so usually it's like
It's
older
absurd.
people who are like, okay, I had this life insurance policy for my kids, but they're doing okay, and they're not going to need the money. Or you find yourself at a later age, you have this life insurance policy, and you might need the cash for whatever reason. It's a $2 million policy. It could be worth $500,000 in cash. So the investment is basically you're the one buying this insurance policy. You're giving them the cash up front. You're taking over the monthly premiums, and then when you make your return on investment is when they die. And it's one of the worst investments I could ever imagine. Like, put aside the moral. Let's say you're just like a cold-blooded capitalist.
Yeah.
Like the annual returns it backs out to like 20-25% is what I've seen over like large populations of these policies, which is pretty good. But first of all, you outlay cash right away, and then you have this monthly premium cash outflow from your bank
Again.
account that you have to hit. And if you miss one of those premiums,
Default.
null and void, right? So, Eric, since you're just walking back in, we're talking about buying and investing in other people's life insurance policies.
Like the full, what would Smithers do?
Yeah, this is like Smithers mode. So anyway, they're terrible. They're literally the opposite of like what I consider a good investment, which is like multifamily real
Even
estate.
just fundamentally.
Yeah. Fundamentally, like, okay, yeah, you put some cash up front, but like at least that gives you cash flow,
Yeah.
like throughout the investment, not you having to
It's gonna
outlay
be so
cash.
funny when people continue doing these and everyone starts living to like 140,
Right.
and the old guy beats him.
So what's creepy is when you get these proposals, you're like, okay, I want to invest in these, and they send you the curve, the bell curve
The
of
actuarial table. Yeah.
and they did a medical exam. They're like, okay, the science says that like in a 1 standard deviation, they're going to die in 3 years, 2 standard deviations, 7 years, and 3 standard deviations, 15 years.
Oh, first of all,
It's
I've seen these, and I actually like them because they're just like pure math. But what I like about it, if you're like buying these things, like you have this return element as well. Like when you have premiums, you can invest those. If you're like buying the
No, but like usually as the one buying the policy, you're giving them the cash value, and then you have to pay the premiums every. You
so
take over the
just-
premiums.
You just hope they die.
Yes, that's it. That's it. And I had, let's not call it a friend, but like an acquaintance, be like, I just invested in a husband and wife, and I'm like, why'd you?
Okay.
Is there a particular reason? He's like, well, if they're together forever, when one goes, usually the other goes right after. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ,
That's
dude.
dark.
It's dark. But anyway, since we were talking about life insurance stuff, it popped to my head that it's one of the worst investments of all time I could imagine. But it's out there.
Yaniv says, I better get my fucking money. That's incredible.
All right, boys.
Shout out to Yaniv.
Yeah, he's
sitting
in the
here.
chat. Also, he wants to meet up. So where are we going?
Okay. It's been a while for Yaniv. Let's
let us know.
let's get out there.
Let's get out there.
So we didn't get a chance.
Post-pod aperitif.
We're not going to get a chance to talk about our last topic because we've already gone 2 hours. But I do want to give a shout out to Magic Spoon real quick since we owe them one for supporting the pod.
Absolutely.
So everyone go to magicspoon.com/alfalfa. I got some right here. This is the frosted flavor. This one has 0 grams of total sugars, 4 net carbs, 13 grams of protein. still eating this out of the box, and I think it's if you want to live a healthy lifestyle, it's a good way to support that. There's cocoa, fruity, peanut butter, and frosted in the little starter pack there. So if you go to magicspoon.com/alfalfa and you use alfalfa at checkout, you can get the starter pack, support the pod, and if you don't like it, they'll give you your money back. So thanks, Magic Spoon, for supporting us.
Can't beat that deal, baby.
Yeah, $5 off. All right, boys. We had another topic, but we just kind of traipsed through the podcast. So I think
had a good run there.
Yeah, had a good run. We'll just save it for next time.
It was good.
It's a good
It was a fun one.
evergreen pod.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. Yaniv. Okay, I just saw that.
So guys, let us know in the Discord, the new channel Pod Topics, if there's like something that's really scratching your interest that you want us to talk about, because that's been awesome.
Call. It's been great.
Yeah, and like
community driven, baby.
If you propose it, come in the chat and chat with us. Like ideally it'd be like
have
if
some
you guys
takes.
are here.
Yeah.
I mean, Steven hasn't been here for 2 weeks. We should just throw in an audience member.
Replace him with a community member.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. I wish we had the ability. I mean, we can to have people be able to call in and chop it up with us about that topic.
Let's just figure out how to make this thing work.
All right, advanced mode
I
is
want
too
call-ins.
much.
I
Come
want
on,
call-ins.
man. I want a little call in,
We have enough room for a live studio audience.
We do.
Call-ins with voice, like radio shows do that.
Wait, guys, episode 200 is coming.
Episode 200 is 9 episodes away.
That's 9 weeks.
9 weeks away. I want to do something special. Should we do something live and in person?
Live and in person.
That'd be fun.
Let's do that.
In San Diego?
Would the pod be different live?
Yeah, but better,
Better.
perhaps.
Probably better.
So, let's do something in SD. We'll start coordinating.
Yeah, if you're out there in San Diego, come. We'll keep the
LA
details.
folks, Adam Snyder and company, come on down.
Yeah.
It'd be probably the first time my fiance would actually watch the podcast.
Yeah,
I was like, hey, babe, we're having a party.
We'd invite our friends.
Yeah.
It'd be really fun. It'd be like an East Denver kind of vibe. I think.
SoCal version.
Love it.
All right, let us know if you guys think that's a good idea. Hop in the pod topics. Let us know if you got anything we should cover and chat about. This has been fun. I had a lot of fun with you guys. Thanks for joining everyone in live chat. If you haven't already, like the video. It helps us out a lot. And otherwise, is Irresponsibly Long happening tomorrow?
I don't know. Steven is
Still flying. Okay.
I'll be honest.
I think he arrives late tonight, so.
Okay, we'll see. We'll
all right, TBD. But next week, Wednesday, we'll all be here, all 4 of us. Any of you back now?
I think I'm good. Yeah.
Okay.
I do fly that evening, but I'll make it for the recording and then fly out
What do you mean? You fly out? You say red eye?
to London.
Oh, you're taking a red eye.
Oh, the big game?
Are you going to bring the luggage?
Man, you?
No, because I can have Mina just come drop
Later.
it off in an Uber.
Okay.
Like, bring it in Uber.
It'd be cool if Mina was here for the pod.
That's exciting, dude.
All right.
Manchester United's in the final, dude.
FA Cup final?
FA Cup final. Manchester United's getting their players healthy.
City just basically won the league.
City has won the league 4 times in a row. This team is like a juggernaut. But Man City, Man U, it's
One game, anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
Yeah.
I don't know anything you guys just said, but I love that you guys nerd out on it. All right, guys. Thanks so much for joining us. We love you lots. That was lots of fun.
That's great.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye,
Peace.
guys.